What's up, everybody? Welcome to Flagrant 2, No Easy Buckets. This episode is brought to you by Morgan & Morgan. Don't get dunked on by an insurance company. Call Morgan & Morgan, and they'll fight to get you full compensation after a car crash or other injury. They've recovered billions, not millions, billions of dollars for people, and hiring them is 100% free unless you win. That means you only pay if you win. That seems like the best deal in the world. Visit forthepeople.com. That's F-O-R. Forthepeople.com/flagrant for a free case review. Let's start the show.
Let's start it.
My name is Andrew Schulz.
That is Andrew Schulz.
I'm here with real life Kaz or Kazeem
Yes,
or
sir.
whatever your new and more official and corporate and professional name is. The more
real life Kaz
podcasts you
still
get,
works.
bro, it's like you're becoming like a dignified human being, bro.
I know.
In
It's
front of our
hard.
eyes.
It's really hard. This is what keeps me from going full corporate.
It's
coming here and saying,
coming
like,
here, yeah.
It's coming
We're
here
holding you back.
just getting off some fuck bombs.
Yeah.
It's like, all right. Still got it. God damn it. Still got it.
So we're here. We got Alexx and Eddin in the building. Akaashs is in India right now. I believe
Yes,
he's
at the parking lot garage.
in the parking lot garage. He's in Mumbai. I believe the show is either today or coming up, so make sure you go check him out there. I'm sure you can get all the details at AkaashSingh.com. But as we start the show today, as some of you might have noticed on my Instagram, I said I had a very special announcement. Today, we're recording it is Monday, but it's coming out Tuesday, so I'll make that announcement for all you guys. Hopefully, Ed, you get this up extra early, because I said the announcement's
When he says
coming
hopefully,
out.
he means you better get that.
That's it. That's it. That is my corporate way of saying get that fucking thing up. But yeah, so 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is coming out, and basically, the announcement is this: I want to speak about a journey that I've been on, that we've kind of all been on. A lot of you listeners have been on from the beginning with me. Some of you have come on midway through. Some of you come on at this tail end, and I'm truly appreciative of all of you guys. And it starts about like 3 years ago, and you guys have heard the beginning of this story, I'm sure, ad nauseum. But 3 years ago, I remember I was sitting in my living room, and I received the final no on my special, this special 441 that I was going to do. And it was from a network called CISO that nobody watched.
I've never heard of CISO.
They went out of business.
Okay.
Yeah, but like it was crippling because like I received no from a place that nobody even liked. Like, do you know what I mean? Like a place that wasn't good enough for anybody to watch. We're like, you're not good enough for no one.
Yeah. That's like not getting hired at McDonald's. It's
less
like,
than no one. We can go into that McDonald's thing because I have an issue with like minimum wage that's starting to really bother me. But we'll get into that later. I just think it's fucked up to pay someone minimum wage, because you're basically saying like, if I could pay you
less, I would.
You're saying like, if you could be a slave, I would hire you that way. Right? Like, but there's a minimum amount we have to pay human beings to work.
It's almost
so
like they
I'll
go,
pay you that.
Fine. Oh God.
Here you go. Like, if as an employer you have to pay at least 50 cents more than minimum wage, so you don't look like the evil person that's behind.
Like Scrooge McDuck.
Exactly. It's like an episode of Watchmen. When you see someone paying a minimum wage, you're like, dude, what's in your closet? You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to give away too much. Okay.
Good.
Anyway, so I remember after having that moment, I'm sitting there on my couch, and I'm just like, okay, this is not, I can't live like this. I can't go through my career hoping that an executive likes me, or hoping that the culture of the time is going to promote the comedy I do, because the culture could change like it did. And then all of a sudden, the type of comedy that I grew up doing, this kind of flagrant, wild, potentially offensive, edgy comedy, could become taboo and not cool. And then all of a sudden, no more specials, no more opportunities, no more anything. And I was like, this is not how I'm going to provide for my family. It's not how I'm going to provide for myself, provide for my friends. This is not how I can take care of anything. So I realized, okay, I have to make a change. Like, I have to do something in life that's going to put myself in control of my destiny, right? And I realized that the only way to do it was like follow the people that I thought had control of their destiny, right? Like the Tyler Perrys, it's like the Walt Disneys, even like the Rudy Ray Moore. That's the guy who Dolomite is about. If any of you guys saw, right?
Yep.
It's like these people invested not in the industry but in the people, right?
And they're Russ. You said Russ is
Russ. Huge shout out to Russ because he was the one who inspired the new joke every week, right?
Yes.
And because he was doing a new song every week,
yes.
But it's like this investment in the people, right? It's like. Before that, you invest in the industry. It's like, how do I make a clean 5 minutes? How do I make a good clean 30 minutes? Or how do I have a palatable this, that, the other? And I was like, fuck that. I want to be completely authentic with the people. And I truly believe that if I had a deep connection with them and they felt like I respected them and they felt like what I was giving them was truth, right, that they would bring me to the top and they would spread the word and it would be this really organic thing happen. I was like, that's the only way you have control of the. There's no way otherwise. And I sat there and I go, okay, I will allow the people to bring me to the top or the people to crumble me. If I give it to the people and nobody likes it and they say, go fuck yourself, I can accept that.
Yeah.
But I will
it's
not.
It's always good to go out on your sword.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I will never allow someone in a suit to decide what happens to me in my career. The people will always be the ones at the end of the day. Jury your peers. You know what I mean? Ain't going to be some emperor who goes thumbs up, thumb down. There's going to be millions of people who go thumbs up, thumb down.
Gotcha.
And I'm fine. I can live with that one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the idea of like one person having my destiny in their hands.
It's bullshit.
It's
bullshit in most situations.
That's how you get your head cut off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's how emperors die.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like they say no to the wrong person. Right? And then you
that
gotta
happens every fucking day.
Every day.
Most kings get their head cut off, and it's usually by one guy. So
because he's like, yo, you're not representing what we want. Right? So at the end of the day, I realized that the industry is nothing without the people. Right? So I'm like, okay, boom. We just got to go right to the people, say, fuck it. We create our own industry. We do all that. And I go, you know what I can do is I can give away all this stuff. Before that comics, we always hoarded our material for a special. And I'm like, why don't I do the exact opposite? Why don't I give it all away? And if the people fuck with it, they'll come up to my live shows and I can afford to, feed my family. I afford to do all these things like that. Right. And it works. Right? I start selling tickets. Everything's good. And I find this kind of like hack of the system, and I realize, you know what? It's probably better to share this. I think a lot of times what happens is like when you find some way of making money or having success, like people hoard it. Like the first I think people to find a way to like tame horses. That was technology back in the day. Yeah. And you know what they did? They're like, yo, don't give this out. This is advantage.
You got to come to our guy. We're the only guys who could train horses.
Boom.
Come get money with me. Yeah, right. Makes sense.
And I was like, fuck it. This is how the game should be played. I thought that there was value in just giving back because I remember going in that moment. I was like, if I get any success, I will bestow this upon the other people who I think will do the same thing with it.
Because it goes back to your original plan of like going with the people, and that's not just selling tickets. That's with the community.
That's how you build. That's how you build industry, right?
Exactly,
it's like that's how you take something from the ground up. It's not just you hoarding everything. It's you sharing, and then it becomes ubiquitous. It becomes ubiquitous with comedy, right?
That's the same reason why I do so many fucking interviews and podcasts. People are like, yo, how do you get in so your hands in so many things? Like I tell them, I'm like, listen, like you have to keep your, there's no point in hoarding all this information if you can't, use it to better people, and in the weird way, you're kind of bettering yourself as well, because now you got to evolve.
100%.
Right.
And you get pushed.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's like once somebody does something better, now it makes me go, okay, now we got to be better than that. Right. It just pushes the art, and it's great. I mean, we did things. I think once you experience a little bit of power in your industry, it shows a lot about who you are.
Right.
And if you're the type of person that wants to like hoard all that power, then you don't deserve the power. And if you're the type of person that wants to help other people who deserve it, I think
that's why when people say it's lonely at the top, it's bullshit.
It don't have to be.
It don't have to be lonely at the top.
So, like, I thought we did the right thing. I thought we filming Giannis's special, doing these inside jokes, really trying to expose people here with these comics that they could be really friends with.
Yes.
And, like, just kind of, like, put people out on a platform when we start to have it. Even giving tough love to Akaashs. Like, now Akaashs is killing it. Though.
He needed it. I remember the days where he was just like, he didn't want to. I remember the days when he didn't want to like meet people after shows, or was too scared to do.
Just put out his material.
Be on social media. It's like and now look at him. He's fucking
he's
Mumbai
killing on YouTube. He's international. He's doing shows. It's just a beautiful thing to see.
Yeah.
And I basically come to this moment where. We film Views from the Sis, right? Alexx comes out, Matt comes out. We go to Europe. We film Views from the Sis, my special, which was before the Crowd Work special. And I have views from the sis, and I'm going out to LA, and I'm doing some podcasts, and I meet with this production company called Comedy Dynamics.
Okay.
And I don't think I told people this story, but Comedy Dynamics recognized the wave. They understood it. It's very rare that industry folks recognize things that early, but they understood it. And they said to me, they're like, hey, don't release your special. We want to buy it. They were the only network. Once again, nobody cared. They weren't even a network. They were a production company.
Right.
They're like, we want to buy it. And I'm like, I'm releasing in a week. And they're like, just don't. Can't you just hold off? We'll make you an offer. And I go, it's $1 million, and you got to give me it in a week. And they go, I don't think that's realistic in any world. Like this, this is not fucking. What is that movie? Not Backdraft. The other one.
Which movie are you talking about? It seems like a Nicolas Cage movie.
Not Nicolas Cage. The other white guy.
The other white guy.
He's like
Come on,
bald.
Alex, you know this.
He's like bald.
Not Nicolas Cage.
He saves the world always. He saves New York. Bruce Willis. What's the movies that he did? Like 4 of them. One with Samuel L. Jackson.
Fuck if I know. I didn't look it up.
Samuel L. Jackson's is one. He did a bunch. It's always New York. Some Russian is about to blow up New York.
Die Hard?
Die Hard.
There it is.
Yeah.
Really? No shit. Okay. Tie this together because I'm trying to see where this is.
Anyway, that's some heist shit. It's like, I need $1 million by tomorrow night.
Oh, like Speed?
Whatever, exactly, right? And you're like, where the fuck are we going to get $1 million? You can't just go in a chase and get $1 million because Keanu Reeves says so, right? So the situation is, but I just said it, and it was one of those things where it was like, as a creative, just because nobody wants your thing doesn't mean it doesn't have value.
Okay.
You decide your value, right? And I remember thinking that, and I was like, you know how much shit is worth? That's how much you think it's worth. So they don't make the thing, but we have a cool meeting, and everything's chill, and eventually I release a special, I go on Rogan, and then shit really goes to another level. You know what I mean? I start touring, I start doing these theaters around the world, like we're selling out. It's fucking unbelievable. And I go to this, it really changes comedy in a lot of ways with the clip stuff, because all these agents and managers start telling their clients, yo, you got to put out clips, and that's the thing. And now all of a sudden we're in this share economy with clips, and it's like been unreal to see this kind of transform comedically, because it was not the zeitgeist at all, you know?
Right.
And then all of a sudden I get asked to go do this festival called JFL, Just for Laughs. I was never asked to do festivals, and I get asked. And they asked me to come up, and I go, yeah, I'll come up, but I really want to do the Nasty Show, because my favorite comic ever, Patrice O'Neal, would do the Nasty Show, and I just wanted to walk in his fucking shoes because I thought he was so great, and I thought it would be a cool thing. And they say no. And I say, all right, well, I don't need to go. And the reason I say I don't need to go is because I have the people now. Yeah. That festival can't do anything for me. Because the festival is just a way to get you in front of networks, which then get you in front of people. I got
you already got people, yeah.
So you can't offer me anything. And when you could walk away, they don't know how to handle that.
Oh, yeah.
So when I say no, they go, all right, fine, you could do the festival, and you could do the Nasty Show. And I go, no, I'm going to do the Nasty Show, and I'm going to do 2 of my other shows. And they're like, we can't do the other shows. I go, well, then I can't go, obviously. Now, if you just said yes to the Nasty Show, we wouldn't have this predicament.
This problem.
But you done fucked up. You let me know you really want me there. Right? So then they acquiesce. We do the Nasty Show, and then we do 2 other shows, and I have a really good JFL. I come back from JFL, and we get a call, right, from Netflix. Now, some of you guys know my history with Netflix. Yes. People think I'm anti-Netflix. I'm not. I'm just making observations about Netflix. When I went on that Rogan, I said Netflix is dead because I looked at like the debt structure that they had and the fact that none of their original programming was successful. It was all the things that they're releasing, and those were about to time out, etc. Everybody thought I was crazy, and then now you see a lot of these articles coming out. So Netflix give us a call. And they go, hey, we want Andrew to do this show called The Degenerates. It's a 15-minute set. It's $25,000. Do you want to do it? My agent tells me about it, and I go, well, I give my content away for free on Instagram. I give it away for free on Twitter. The money is never the issue. It's just is the right opportunity. I'm like, I'm not against it. The next day, we get a call from Comedy Dynamics, that production company I spoke about. They go, hey, we want to work with Andrew. What's Andrew up to? My agent, TJ, very intelligently says, he just got an offer from Netflix. He doesn't say what it was for. He doesn't say it was for 15 minutes and $25,000. Yeah. He just said he got an offer from Netflix.
Yeah.
So they go, wait, don't sign anything. Give us a few days. We're going to cook something up.
Okay.
Okay? this is getting closer to the announcement that I want to talk about.
Okay.
It might be a long
I'm
place.
sitting
to
on the
get
edge
there.
of my seat because I really don't know the announcement. I was like, I want to find out on there with everyone else.
So we get the call. So what we do is we have to stall Netflix. So we ask Netflix for a few things we know they're not going to give us, right? So I asked, I want to be the first comic in the series to come out, and I also want to have my face on the first image.
Okay.
Now, Netflix is not going to give that up, right?
Unless they do.
Well, unless they do, but they're not because they don't get it. But also, even if they do or they don't, they have to put that through the execs.
Yes.
That takes days. So now we have days.
Okay.
Right? In that time, we get an offer from Comedy Dynamics. My lawyer sits me down. Not my lawyer. My agent sits me down. He's so excited. We're sitting down, and he goes, okay, here's the offer from Comedy Dynamics. And he's sitting there, and he's like thrilled. And I look at the offer, and the offer is for my next special, and it's for $1 million.
Shit.
Right. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, dude, this is fucking amazing. You just turned $25,000 deal into $1 million deal. This is an amazing job. This is so incredible. It's a shame we have to turn it down. When I tell you he had a heart attack, bro, dude, his face turned white,
Yeah.
dude, and he's a white guy, but I don't know how white can get whiter, but it got whiter, dude. It was hilarious.
It's translucent.
Bro, he was like a fish at the bottom of the ocean. You know, the ones that don't have. He was a jellyfish. That's what he was. He literally turned into a jellyfish. And he's like, what do you mean? This is everything that you asked for. This is the deal. And he goes, remember when we went there a year ago and you said it was $1 million? Well, here's the special. And I go, yeah, that was the deal a year ago.
The price of the brick went up.
It went up. Shit's changed, right?
Yeah.
It's like if I don't value myself and I don't value what I am, then then what do I have? It's just an arbitrary
true
amount.
Jewish man that
Right.
answer show.
So it was one of those things, and I literally sat there and I thought about it, and it was one of those things that was really important to me because it wasn't about the money of the special. But in that amount of time, I put out 3 specials. I charged $0 for all of them.
Yeah.
I don't make my living on specials. But the message that I wanted to do is to put out is, I played a role in convincing all these comics in the world to share their content for free. But just because you give away your content doesn't mean it's worth nothing.
Yeah.
It's worth whatever the fuck you want it to be worth.
Yes.
So I decided what it was worth then. And then I decided it became worth more. So it got to be worth more. And if you say no, guess what I'm just as happy doing? Releasing it on YouTube, this amazing platform that gave me the success I have today. So
Best
I say no.
advice I ever got when I was younger.
Say what?
Never work for cheap. Always work for free or full price.
I love that.
Never work for cheap.
I love that shit. So it's like, boom. So I say no. He freaks the fuck out. And I go, just tell him. He goes, no, it can't be that price because that was the price that it was last time. It's got to be more.
Gotcha.
He comes back in 2 days. We got more. I won't tell you what it is.
I mean, it's more than $1 million. So, I mean, shit.
That's all I can say.
Right.
So, and again, I don't say this, and the amount of money is in terms of bragging, right? It's like that amount of money has helped something else, which I'm going to talk about later in this episode that we've been waiting to talk about for you guys for months.
Yeah.
But what I say that is if you're a creative and you're in this process, you don't have to be stand-up. You could be music, you could be art, whatever it is. But if you're going through a similar journey that we went through, and what I mean obviously my team, Alexx, Mark, you guys, Eddin, Akaashs, but also all the people that have been sharing these clips and making these things relevant. It's like you can give everything away and then use that to get a way better deal than you would ever get, And when we did it, one of the cool things is that we signed it with a production company, and I partnered with that production company. That's Comedy Dynamics, and then we got to choose where we sell the special to. And I can't say the network right now, but I think that you guys are going to be pretty happy when I say what it is. Okay, and trust me, your boy is always looking at the future and what the future is going to be. And I'm very excited to announce it, and I'm sure we'll announce it in the upcoming months. But the special announcement I have right now is that yes, my first network special, 1 hour special, is going. His deal is signed. Is going to be filmed in Los Angeles, California, April 11th. At the Orpheum Theater, the same theater as Dolomite.
Hell yeah.
And
God.
that shit meant so much to me when I saw him pull up to that theater, man,
Yeah.
in the movie. And I was like, because these theaters in downtown LA were so important, so special to people. That's where literally they would all connect and like just watch these movies and experience these like cultural waves. And this motherfucker in Dolomite, dude, he did it himself. And what happens is when you build up the people, everybody wants to come work with you. Yeah. And I felt like the stars were aligned so much when I watched that. So I was like, nah, it's got to be there. And yeah, we're going to do it. So what we're doing is today, right now, as you listen to this, you can get tickets. There's a pre-sale code. And the reason we did pre-sale code is because I know there's certain people who have been on this journey with me for years and all around the world. You guys deserve first dibs.
Yeah, they deserve to be there.
So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, these days are all yours. Pre-sale code is Matador. You could get the link on my website, theandrewschultz.com. But if you want to come, man. We saved this fucking date. We saved this specific city. We decided to do it this specific day. And I wanted it to be Easter weekend. You know what I'm saying? The resurrection. It's important. You know what I mean? Like that's Easter weekend. It's like I want it to be in LA. I want it to be like in the city that said no, in the city that breaks your dreams, and the city that turns you down. It's like, nah, we're gonna go do it there. And everybody's gonna bend with us. And for me, I really see it as like the first special in the new wave of new media. The first deal that reflects new media. The first deal reflects ownership. You know what I mean? And like partnering on a project, not just going, okay, here's my rights, you do whatever you want with it. But like, no, I know what my value is, and you're going to pay me according to that value. And I'm just really excited. I'm really excited for that moment. I'll just thank you. So the Andrew Schultz out. If you guys want it, you have 3 days to go get those tickets before anybody else. If you're flying in, I know those motherfuckers are probably gonna be flying in, taking trains, driving, whatever it is. Go get them shits. You have 3 days before the whole world knows about it. And that's because I appreciate y'all so much. So thank you so much for being on this journey, man. Thank you.
Let's talk some sport. No, I'm just like, I mean, like I rarely get, you rarely get emotional.
Yeah.
And Akaashs rarely gets emotional. But I remember when you were here, like legitimately like finalizing the deal on the phone before we were filming an episode of Flagrant 2.
Yeah.
And I just seen like, you know what I mean? Like you've hit some doubles, you've hit some triples, you know what I'm saying? But like you had that smile on your face like you just hit like a fucking like a grand slam, not just a home run. Like you out and everybody else with you is crossing the home plate too. And I legitimately didn't want to know. I wanted to be like, I want to find out with everybody else because I still don't know the network, so I'm not kayfabing y'all. I'm not fucking, bullshitting y'all. But I mean, I feel like, I was a part of this journey with you for the past, it seems like, what, 3 years now? We've been doing this fucking show. And I remember the early days of doing this and doing episodes of Brilliant. And just like, it's really fucking special when you can track the exact moment when like a trajectory changes. You know what I'm saying? And just like as a friend and like as somebody who's, even before we were friends, like I was just a fan of your shit. I just thought you were funny. I watched the shit ton of Guy Code, like a bunch of people did. And like just being part of this journey, man, like it's incredible. It's inspiring as somebody who I think shares the same sort of work ethic, even though it's not stand-up comedy. It's like
it's your field,
other shit.
You're going for it.
You know what I mean? Like it's just so fucking dope to see somebody deservingly get that.
And I spoke to people, and I spoke to Al and other people about like sharing the amount of money about it. And the reason I thought it was important is because I'm not Dave Chappelle and I'm not Chris Rock. And I'm not Amy Schumer. And I'm not these people that you hear these crazy deals that are made, in the millions of dollars. I'm not them. I'm not the famous person that got the big deal from Netflix because they're famous. I'm the guy that the streets knew about. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm the guy that the people knew about. And there's so many people who really, I'm even listening right now, who are like, yo, you're one of my favorite comics, or you're my favorite comic, but I don't know how many people know you, right?
That's the best type of fame to have, though.
Oh, it's the best. But what I'm trying to say is like, not only for them, but also for other comics, is you don't need to be them to get it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't need to be the super famous person. You don't need to be the person like grandfathered in from doing all these movies and TV shows. You could build your shit now and get what you're worth now. And guess what? That's what you're worth. That's where it starts. So know that going into your contract negotiations with Netflix, know it going into your contract negotiation with Hulu, with all these other brands, know where it starts.
Oh, yeah.
I just told you.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? If you can get more, good.
Get more. I mean, shit, it's on some ninja shit where it's like Ninja's a guy who the streets knew about, and then you see this motherfucker's numbers.
I thought
and
you were
like,
saying the N-word politely.
No, I was like, what? He said, no, Ninja, the video game guy, fucking left Twitch, went to Mixer because Microsoft paid him a stupid bag. Right. But like, you hear the type of money he's getting, and it's like, yo, this guy's got more money than like you're probably the best player on your favorite basketball team or football team, and like the streets knew about this dude, and he broke a different way of creating content.
That's it.
Where he got to create his own fucking number. You know what I'm saying? And
my win is your win. I don't got to share this shit with you. I share it because I want you to come up, and maybe you don't have what I have. So maybe you're not going to get that much yet. Maybe you're going to get a portion of that. But at least you know where the benchmark is.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, at least in the NBA, everybody knows each other's salaries. So you could go, well, shit, I'm better than Jerry Stackhouse.
Oh, yeah.
Or shit, I'm not as good as LeBron, but I'm better than whatever.
Of course.
You know, I'm better than fucking
The most powerful thing you could do is as creatives in the same
Ben
field.
Simmons, whatever, I'm trying to think. I mean,
that's the whole Dak Prescott, Carson Wentz thing. Like, Carson Wentz get paid. Dak Prescott beats him every time. It's like, I should get more money.
So why should I give? But at least you know that. In our field in entertainment, motherfuckers want to be real quiet about what they get.
People are very stingy about that's every field.
And you know what? That's how they use it against us.
That's how every
when we
field.
don't know, you know what I'm saying? When we don't know what we're doing and what we're worth and what we can get paid, that's when we start signing away checks.
Oh, yeah.
Because a lot of times you don't put any value on what you're worth.
And you're saving the company money. They don't need it. They don't need it. Honestly, that's kind of why I've been following like Stephen A. Like, I've been on my sports kick for a long time for this past year.
Stephen A. said.
And I love Stephen A. Smith because it's like, you know, you don't got to be Hove or LeBron, or you could be him. And he tells people how much money he's getting. So I'm like, I'm on that trajectory. I'm going to get I'm going to fill up every fucking field. So eventually, I know that's the benchmark. I'm like, I'm getting that bag. Maybe not this year, maybe not next year, but I'm getting something close to there and over that. And it's because I've seen you do it. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen a lot of people.
I want to get in, and I wanted you to get your shit off. 3 things. So when I started this journey with you, like first I was working with Brilliant for a while, and I saw the work ethic of Drew and Charlamagne. And I'm like, yo, these guys outwork everybody I've ever met in my life. And I'm like, oh, okay. So now it's like I'm just picking on Jules. I'm like, all right, one clear way to succeed is work. So I adopted that type of work ethic. I'm like, you know what? There should never be a time where I'm bored.
Right.
Because there's always time to do something. So I like, that's one thing I really commend. And then I even see it with you, Kaz, like just outworking everybody out here. Like, it's funny when people say, yo, how many jobs you got? Like, that's a hilarious thing to say.
Listen, I'll go anywhere as long as they pay me to.
The next thing, it's like you choosing to give away the formula. At first, I was against it because I guess I came from that old mentality of like, yo, we found a way to get it. Like, don't just give it up to everybody. And then I saw like how appreciative other comics and even just other people in other fields are. Like, and then I realized Elon Musk, like, he gave away the patent to like the Tesla battery. And it's like, look, still nobody is making a better electric car than him. So I'm like, all right. So now I see this giving mentality is so fucking, it's useful. It's needed more because a lot of people are just, they looking for their way, but they can't find their way.
They're scared.
Yeah.
It's a scarcity thing.
And then, I was one more point I forgot to make.
While you think about it, but I think that's what it comes from. And we've all been scared. We've all had like that insecurity, like, well, what if I give this away? Will other people do it better and then I won't have it anymore? But like, at the end of the day, it's like, we got to have confidence. Like, if I could think of this, I could think of another thing.
Even if you don't have the confidence, it gives you, it puts the battery in your back to make sure you at least have the work ethic to outdo that confidence.
Facts.
Because it's like, you know.
I'm saying specifically with giving away.
Yeah.
And also, like, who the fuck would I be to come out here on a podcast every week and say, yo, the Army provides and we got to give back and we got to help each other. And I'm not doing that for my own, colleagues in comedy. Like, I got to be the representation of that always. I got to give more. I got to be giving the most always so that people under me feel, well, shit, if he's giving away that much, I got to at least.
Yeah.
Like, that's what Rogan did, right?
Yeah.
Like, Rogan transformed the comedy scene in L.A. because he literally just helped. And now anybody under Rogan got to help, because if you don't, you're like, who the fuck are you? You're not Rogan.
You're not bigger than this motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know, that makes sense.
But you were saying?
No, I was saying, you know, I just remember. Oh, go ahead, Alex.
The third part I was just going to make, it's very important to speak things into fruition and then always, like, practice what you preach.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I was like deciding on should I leave my job and do this full time, and you know, some of the key things you were just telling me, like, yo, hard work and like always be positive. Even the people who shitted on you, like, just don't invite that negativity into your life. And then you also said, I remember in that conversation, you're like, this year I'm going for the mill. Like, you said you were gonna be a millionaire this year, and you fucking did it, and that's crazy. Fucking amazing.
That's crazy.
Congratulations,
bro.
Dude, I remember sitting down in my apartment, how do I back into $1 million? Meaning like $1 million in my head was always like, well, you're just gonna get one check, and then that's what it's gonna be. But it's like, and randomly this type of situation happened, but like how do you back in? Which is like, okay, if I'm making this much here, I'm making that much there, I'm making that much here. This is from a live show. This is from this, and there is a way to make the most daunting thing in the world, which is like becoming a millionaire or something like that. There is a way to make it accessible, and it might not happen in 1 year. It might happen in 2 years. It might happen in 3 years. But there's a way to break it down into smaller pieces. Oh, I got 100K here. I got 200K here. This, that, the other. And the same way that you can break that million up, you could break that 100. There's somebody listening right now who just wants to make 6 figures. Yo, you can back into
shit.
6 figures,
you
bro.
can do that shit.
I'm telling you, you might be at 80 and you're like, hold up. So if I do overtime, now I'm at 92. And if I babysit my cousin's kid this many weeks, now I'm at 96. There's ways to get there. I'm telling you, it's like, stop acting like that shit is unreachable.
Dog, I remember, and I feel like we're opening. I feel like this is a lot of behind the scenes talk about the podcast. But I remember, like, literally this time last year, where I think we was all sitting in, I think, Pret, and we were just kind of like, all right, what are we gonna do for next year? Like, what's the fucking goal? And I remember we were talking about, you know, changing the name of the, even adding like your name to the shit. This is after the Rogan bump and like all this other shit that we were just kind of like plotting. And I remember a specific thing you said is like, yo, what is your personal goal for this? Like, what do you want to get out of this? And I'm just like, I want to be the sports guy. Like, I want to be the motherfucker who, like, you know, there's a lot of old motherfuckers in this shit. I want to be that next dude. You had your specific goals. Akaashs had his own specific goals. Alexx, Eddin, like, we all had our own shit that we were after. And to come back 365 days later and you're a millionaire. I'm a fucking, people have called me like the fucking new voice in New York sports.
100%. You are.
Every fucking
The Post.
the Post,
Sports
SNY,
New York.
fucking Nike. I just signed a couple deals with Adidas and Under Armour with no fucking, exclusivity to any of them. You know what I mean? Like, just a bunch of shit. Akaashs is in fucking his home country.
So Akaash's dream has always been to like perform for his people, as he puts like that. And the fact that he's gone there twice this year to do shows.
God,
you know what I mean?
It's fucking insane what you can do when and granted, people probably listen to this and they're like, oh God, get to the jokes. But sometimes you need to hear this shit. It's the end of the year, you know what I'm saying?
You need to. It's important time to reflect. And, I'm not one of these motherfuckers that waits for the new year to do everything different. I never made a New Year's resolution in my life because the resolution starts when you need it. Yeah. But it is important. I feel like it is important to reflect. Say what?
That's a bars.
It's true, right? It's like, but it is important to reflect on like the ability of it. Like Akaashs went in 1 year from being almost homeless to getting married.
Oh shit!
You know what I'm saying? Like
that's the flossiest fucking wedding.
That's a glow up right there, right? So it's like, and I just know. And I know it sounds so crazy in times. Yeah. And again, I don't define anything by the money. I've never done a single thing in my life to make money specifically, like a single project that I wanted to do, right? It's like, but I knew that we had something great here, and I knew that there was something missing in the world here, and I knew that the flagrancy would be so refreshing to people. And the way that, like, it's caught on, and the way that, like, I mean, just chucking up the asshole when someone
Dog,
sees you, bro. It's
so
like
fucking crazy, bro.
it's a squad, bro. It's an army out there.
It's more than that at this point. It's a fucking like I've always told people my only
It's
goal.
the cult, bro. We out here with a cult, dog.
My only goal in life,
yeah,
was to just be marks on a timeline. You know what I mean? Like if there's a timeline of shit, and you got one of those indents, those marks, it's like all right. Whether it's podcasting, comedy, sports, content creating, whatever the fuck this whole hodgepodge of things is.
Yeah.
We have a mark on podcasting, the way comedy is done, the way sports is talked about, all that shit. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad you're bringing this up, Kaz.
And that is worth more than any fucking check. Just knowing that people...
Innovation.
Yeah.
Why you pushing it to the next level?
When it was fucking hard for a lot of motherfuckers just to be... I was one of the people.
Yeah.
I was one of those people. I was like, man, I don't know what to talk about. I don't know. You know,
Yeah.
I'm my catchphrase at one point was, I ain't touching that.
Yeah, I'm not touching it.
So
Yeah.
now I'm just like,
Now let's go.
fuck it.
Because
I can say whatever the fuck
there's
I want.
value in fuck it, man.
Yeah.
Because when you have the people, they can't take anything away from you.
I have no fear, man.
They cannot take anything away. And I'll tell you, when you talk about innovation, that brings us to the next thing. I think that I've been waiting to tell y'all this about this for so long, man. And you guys have heard me tease about it forever. But I told you, earlier, and I probably told a million times on this podcast, is that the only reason for me making money is so that I can push these projects that I have further, so I can take care of my friends, I can take care of my family, so I can produce content in the most authentic way. That's all I've ever wanted to do. I don't want to have to bend to a network standard or these types of things. When we have the ability to create this content ourselves. And when we started doing this deal, and it looked like the deal was going to go through, I pulled the trigger on something that you guys are going to see in the new year. And that is, we have a new content facility in Brooklyn, New York. It is going to house Flagrant 2. We have another podcast that I'm starting called Schulz, and we'll give you more details about that in the future, but that's just one-on-one interviews, similar to the one I did with James Altucher or Cypher Sounds, Miko Grimes, like these kind of like long-form interviews where I'm talking to these people who have really interesting story or perspective I want to share. It's got another studio, which is a generic podcast studio for new projects. Maybe Kaz wants to do something. Maybe Al or Eddin wants to do something. Maybe these other people we want to support can go in there and we can give them a real platform, a real space where they can create and upgrade their current situation, because we know what it's like to be in a situation that needs to be upgraded. We got the green screen studio so we can create content. And this is one of the coolest parts for me is we have a live performance space.
Yes.
So I'm talking about screening a special, doing live comedy shows, watching NFL games. I mean, like seating, the whole 9 yards. So intimate, maybe 50 people, maybe a little bit more than that. But the fact that we have all this in our studio, editing bays for Alexx, Mark, Eddin, anybody else on the team, like legit, so they're not on their fucking laptops typing away, but like the real fucking deal.
Yeah.
And I mean, like full lighting, rigging, we upgraded the cameras. We have these like amazing, cool new cameras that we're working with. And right now the guys are out there building it. Some of you guys might have noticed this. We've had the two biggest do-it-yourself guys on YouTube. We got Ben Uyeda and Mike Montgomery. You can check out their YouTube. They have tons of stuff. They've done the biggest deals. They've designed the studio. We did state-of-the-art, soundproofing. None of this fucking bullshit. I'm talking about the real deal. And we have one thing that I think is going to change podcasting forever. And I can't wait for you guys to see it. But all I'll say is this. Say goodbye to microphones. This shit right in front of your face, the whole fucking podcast.
Done with that.
This big fluffy thing. And I'm not talking about lavaliers like they do on TV.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a new technology that's not even available in the consumer market yet.
Oh my God.
We got in contact with this great company who's been doing all of our audio visual stuff. And shout out to Overtone Sounds that did all of our custom sound paneling. They were great. You're gonna hear all about these guys in the near future. But we got this new thing, and it will, I think, change the visual for podcasts forever. I truly believe if we do it right. I just heard the first sound test today, and they sound unbelievable. You can't even you can't even believe that you get good quality audio without a microphone in your face. So it's like, what we want to do is innovate. And I knew if I was given any kind of money or power, I would invest that in what we're doing and creating more content. So thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to do that. We get to some flagrancy, but I'm very excited for this new year, man.
Man, shout out to everybody who's rocked with us.
New year, new we.
I know we've never done like, it was only like literally my only nugget of this show. We've never done any like 100 episodes, 200 episodes, 1 year anniversary, none of that shit. But I feel like every single year we've kind of leveled up. And like this upcoming 2020 is gonna fucking, like, if you've been rocking with us for this long, man.
Oh, get ready.
Oh, shit. Yeah,
we're gonna make y'all proud.
If you think we deliver a lot of content now.
Oh, boy. It's about to be the next level, man.
And Kaz, I would feel bad as a black man to let you go the rest of this episode. You got to fix your do-rag. Right here,
motherfuckers!
My bad. I just noticed it. I just noticed it.
God damn it! All right,
I got you.
I had my velvet on too.
Yeah.
Like, it's nice and silky. Well, fuck y'all. Thank you, Alex. I appreciate that.
I like how you describe your velvet as silky.
Oh.
Velvet is the material.
Listen,
it's velvety.
Niggas know exactly what I'm talking
Yeah, exactly.
about.
They're called silky.
Yeah, it's a silky. Like, it doesn't matter what fabric
that is
the do-rag is. It's still called the silky.
Yeah.
No matter what. That shit can be made of fucking polyester. It's like, oh yeah, you got my silky.
So silky isn't a material.
It's not a material. It's a feeling. It's what you feel in here.
It's
when you feel the waves waving up in your head, it's like, all right, I got my silky on.
Who decided that the waves were good? That the
What you
waves were the
mean?
thing?
Have you seen Usher?
No. I mean, like I think waves look really cool, but when did that become like fashionable?
Man, I'll tell you. I mean, for me personally, is when I first saw like Mace with him. Mace was like the flyest fucking.
Even before that, you had finger waves back.
I wasn't on the finger waves though.
No, but
man.
I mean, like it's been around for a minute.
It has been around. Women actually had a pop in first, like when they had like short haircuts, but they would do fucking relaxer. Now, I'm getting really into deep black hair culture shit, right?
Yeah.
Relaxer is almost like a perm for white folks. So what makes your hair puffy makes women's hair or black people's hairs silky. So they'd put the white shit in the hair, relax it, and it would make it wavy and take the sideburns and all this other shit and make it that.
Shit, you could even go back to like the soul days when motherfuckers was permanent shit out, like the Malcolm X shit. When he was little. I forgot what they call. What did they call it in that?
Not a Jerry curl.
No. But they was like
a perm
process. Or maybe they did call it a perm or whatever. But
yeah. My mom called it a perm.
What's up, big worm? I mean, big perm.
Big perm, big sherm.
What is it? Is it what's up, big perm? I mean, big worm.
Shout out Jalen Rose. I talked to him today about his pristine hairline
and what did he say? Was he on PEDs? Is he having any help?
I had a good conversation with him today. You can check it out on Big Apple Buckets. And he was just saying like, I got great jeans. Yada yada.
Fuck
he
that.
does, bro. Look at that shit.
That ain't great jeans, son.
That's a barbershop picture.
Go back and look him in the Fab 5 days.
No, I know he's always had a great hairline, but I mean to keep it that pristine.
That shit is perfectly coiffed. I can't believe a black man that age. He's got to be pushing almost 45, 50 at
I'm
this
going
point.
with the PEDs when
listen.
When my shit start going.
I got to finish.
I feel
line
like going for it right now.
I got a finish line for my shit. Once I'm either coming home, I'm either going bald, or I'm getting LeBron treatment.
Once it reaches a certain level, why would you not get LeBron? That's what I don't understand. And I'm not doing this honestly to plug any company that we use, but like, balding is a choice.
Yeah.
It's a choice now.
Yeah.
But you got to get on it before. It's when cats go
be
bald
proactive.
and then they realize it. Yeah, the second you notice, you got to get on the pills.
Yeah. I've been trying to do the shit, but I keep forgetting to do the fucking the doctor's thing, whatever. It's
what?
Like,
just
what you gotta do? Yeah. Tell me about that. What you gotta do?
Hims.
Yeah, you do hims. You know what I mean?
You
Pop
just
a
do
couple of the
hims.
gummies. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if they're gummies. I take pills. I cut them shits
Take
up.
the pills?
Yeah, every single day.
Oh gosh, I need to do that.
Nah.
Shit.
It's
not even a
the reason why
question.
I just want to lower
the reason why I don't hit
hairline.
the Bron shit is because Bron,
Get
like
10
when his
years
shit
younger.
is bad, like it looks bad.
It looks stupid.
It
Yeah.
looks like once the shit like.
I'm
you know
pretty
what I
sure
mean?
with him it just didn't work. Like
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he
it's not
did.
gonna work for everybody.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm pretty
Like-
sure he did everything he could. It just didn't take.
I'm sure he did.
What's the
Because
guy's
he got all
from
the money
Tory
in the
God
world.
Lanez?
had to handle
Like Tory Lanez, it didn't work for him.
Nah, it
What's
did.
Charlamagne called the trap toupee?
Yeah. But like Tory thinks it worked for him, which is cute. But if you look at his hair, it looks odd.
Yeah,
His hair looks odd.
But it's still in the growing process. It takes time.
Oh.
Like you've seen it get progressively better.
Yeah, because Tygas,
He just couldn't wait to show it off.
here's the thing. Tygas
DJ
is
Envy
great
shit is kind of crispy too.
because the thing about Tygas is like, so Tories, when it grows out, it looks like baby hairs.
Yeah, like this is it right here, right?
Yeah. When it grows out, it just don't look right. But Tygas, he could actually twist. And that's how you know the hair is strong.
I don't think he's fully black though. I think that's
Tyga?
good. Yeah, I think. See, look at that shit. His shit came back from the brink, yo.
Oh,
Wait,
son,
go back
his
right
is
here.
over, bro.
Holy fuck!
Look at that.
That's my finish. That's my finish line right there.
Son,
I'm
go to
once
that
I
one
get
right there.
I'm like,
He looks like a turtle in the left one, right? And he looks Dominican in the right one. He came back
my
to Dominican, dude.
Son.
Look at it. He got his hair
I
in
need to do
twist.
that shit.
Look, go back up. Go back up. Look at this. Something's off there, right?
Yeah, nah, it's too.
It's like he transferred pubes.
It's almost
Yo.
like
He
somebody
got the
drew it
wrong
on.
type of hair.
Yo, Drew.
Yeah.
Can you pay for me to get the treatment and we document the whole thing as content?
You're not even on camera.
Yo, your hair is fine. What are you talking about? Your hairline.
Yeah, your
fine.
hair is good,
if
dude.
I could bring
Yeah.
the hairline
Like,
down,
take your hat off. Let me see.
you go
Your
like
shit is
it's
fine. What are you
yeah,
talking
but
about?
if it goes
You wanna see
down,
my shit is on the brink, bro. Hold on. Let
you
me take my shit off.
you take like 10 years off your age.
Like my shit is on the brink, bro. You see it?
So
Nah, you
right,
know,
right.
you
Y'all
all
just
right.
got big ass foreheads, honestly.
All right. Also, you got
No, it's the
African
forehead.
expectations for your hair. Africans never got the crispy hairline. That shit always goes back,
but
bro.
still, bro. Like a lot of Africans got some crispy shit.
Who?
And my shit. I mean, fuck. I mean, Andre Iguodala, great hairline.
he does have a good hair.
I gotta
shit,
see
look.
Andre Iguodala because I don't know.
Yeah,
Because
Andre-
Ethiopians be having all the forehead, bro. It's like known.
Let me see. Yeah, pretty sharp hair.
Fam,
Nah,
that's you.
Nah.
His is way back.
My shit, yeah, but you
it's
see
not
the
that
corner.
bad.
It's all in the corners,
So
bro.
then corner your
like
shit
if your
up.
corners ain't, if your shit ain't sharp, like if your shit like grooves, like you know when you run a route,
Yeah.
and like you know what I'm saying, and like the shit not sharp. Like if your shit is Amari Cooper, your shit is good. But like, if you're running routes like fucking
Wayne Corbett.
like Wayne Corbett, just curving and shit, running those Jarvis Landry
I didn't
routes.
say
it's
wheel.
like,
Why you running a wheel?
Run a slant, motherfucker. Sharp hairline. Frank.
Anyway, we'll get y'all hairlines. We'll glow up. This is gonna be
Goddamn.
a fun year, 2020.
I fucking can't wait.
2020
excited.
hairline.
So, guys, we got to start with some flagrancy.
Let's get into it, man.
I had a
Oh, and shout out to everybody who came to Barclays Center this past Friday. It was
yo
crazy.
man, congrats on that. That looked
Dussepalooza.
amazing.
It was fantastic,
Son,
man.
amazing.
All in New York. Shout out to Casanova, The Locks, Just Blaze,
Yeah.
Dipset, Cam, Jewels, Fivio Foreign, whole Dussepalooza team. Everybody
Yeah.
who bought a ticket, we sold that bitch out. It was fantastic, man. Thank y'all for coming through.
Also, I just want to say that's incredible to see what the Dusse show has turned into, man. It's fucking unreal because, I mean, Webster Hall, that was a massive success. I grew up a few blocks from Webster Hall, and I mean, that's a fraction of the size of the Barclays Center.
Bro,
So
it's
to do it at that level is unbelievable, man.
it
Congrats.
is. Abs, thank you so much, man. It takes a fucking village to put that thing together. So shout out to the whole team. Obviously, you know who you are, and man, can't wait to do it again.
Man, it is. Oh yeah, another thing I just want to say before we move on to some flagrant thoughts and some flagrancy is that it's important to me that like the New York comedy scene knows that this new space that we haven't named yet, but we're gonna name it, is not only investment in the content that we're making, but investment in New York comedy. So if there's ways that I could help comics in New York, I want to do that, and I want to know, and it is important to me to give back and give opportunities because obviously the only reason I'm able to do this is because other people gave me opportunities that didn't have to, you know. So this is an investment in New York comedy, and New York comedy is on the rise, and I feel like we're going to be in a good place, and I feel like we're adopting some of those values that made the LA scene so successful in the last few years. So I'm really bullish on New York comedy in the future, and I'm gonna make sure that we get to the promised land again, 100%. Now, flagrancy. Let's talk
get to
about
it, man. Goddamn.
I'm in LA.
Yeah.
Okay. I do a show at the Comedy Store. Okay. Jeremiah Watkins show, my favorite show to do while I'm in
love
LA.
Jeremiah.
He's fucking hilarious.
Great guy. Yeah.
Obviously, he was on the show. He has a show called Stand Up on the Spot. People yell things at you. You just do a joke based on that in the
Okay.
moment.
Okay.
Okay. It's a great show. No planned material. Everything has to be unplanned. Great show. I'm about to leave Comedy Store. Right before I leave, Emily, woman who runs the Comedy Store, goes, Schulz, they have a show in the main room. Main room is a beautiful room, 400 seats. It's Bill Bert, Joey Diaz, Greg Fitzsimmons. Can you do a spot? I go, I would be honored to do a spot with those guys. Let's go do it. As we're walking in the back, she goes, hey, just want to let you know this show is like for like people on the spectrum. And I go, wait a minute, like, it's for retards, right? And then she goes, no, like they're like in like a halfway house. And I'm like, oh, halfway house, that's like drugs or like, you know, I thought on the spectrum of society, like these people are on the fringe.
No, like,
you know
these are murderers.
Right. Yo, I'm walking in the back, I see some guys, like some white dudes with these like long beards, like biker guys. I'm like, oh, these guys are legit. And I get excited because it's like, well, they're not going to be offended by anything. This is like my perfect audience, like people who have done all the things I'm going to talk about. All of a sudden, my material is relatable, right? It's like, if I'm going to speak about the worst shit and I got the guys in there like, yo, stabbing does suck sometimes.
They're probably looking at you like, oh, that's
Ted Bundy, he's the man, whatever it is, right? And so I'm hyped. I'm going in.
Yeah.
I go on stage, first couple jokes. And listen, I'm not one of these motherfuckers that just goes, yo, I killed. Like, there's these comics that say they killed, right? No matter how they do. I was killing, bro. I was going hard, and I'm fucking bodying these motherfuckers. And I get to this final joke, and it's a joke I'll only do if I really like a crowd.
Okay.
And it's a joke about retards, right? But it's also about other shit,
okay.
Right? But so I get into
this
joke.
I know the joke.
You might know the joke,
yeah.
And again, I gotta really like the crowd because the joke is fucking wild.
Okay.
Like, it is wild. But it's one of those things, like, if we're all on board, you're gonna laugh in a way that's different. You are laughing in a different way at this joke, right?
Okay.
So I start doing a joke, and I'm not getting really anything from the audience. I was murdering, and now this shit is real quiet. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I keep on doing the joke. I get them up to make maybe 50%, but it just was not the same as it was in the beginning. I was like, man, that's weird. And then I walk off stage, and backstage is Joey Diaz, and Joey Diaz looks at me. He goes, "Hey kid, why'd you do the retard joke?" I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, "There's a room full of retards." Yeah, it's a benefit for retards. Why would you do that? I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" I go, "Are you kidding me?" He goes, "No, man, don't worry about it." He goes, "They forget about it. They're retarded." So I go into the back room. I'm just screaming at these people in the audience. I was like, "Why aren't they fucking getting this?" Turns out they were really offended by what was going on.
Oh my god, that was the one that you crossed the line.
Bro, I felt I felt so fucking bad about that shit. I'm like, oh no, dude, I did.
Nah. First time ever I saw him
really?
actually genuinely felt bad.
Nah.
The sound guy came down one point during time. He goes, "Dude, that was ballsy." I go, dude, I didn't know. I wasn't trying to be like
but they said
edgy.
they were on the spectrum. Like that's kind of
I
far
asked her if
reaching.
they were retards, and she said no.
It's far
she
reaching.
Said halfway house.
How do you think people get to jail?
By being retarded?
Yeah, most of the time they don't. Let's keep it
Bro,
real.
But here's the thing. It turns out she did mean on the spectrum.
Yeah.
Here's the craziest thing. The first comic that went up, partially retarded. He's backstage with me, and I apologize. And I didn't know he was retarded.
Yeah.
I thought he was just a comic.
Oh,
because like some of these, because some comics like do this thing where they like play into how weird they are. Like they just do this like I'm autistic
Their
type of thing.
idiosyncrasies and shit like that.
And it's just like okay, you could do that.
No, I'm
bullshit.
really retarded. Yeah.
So I thought he was one of those. I thought he was just like this weirdo guy that's like leaning into the weirdo.
I
But,
gotta
like,
hear how he said it though.
No. So I go, dude, my bad about the whole thing. He doesn't even know I'm talking about that. He's like, yeah, I thought I had a weird set too. And I was like, oh no, dude, I'm locked in this conversation. I am locked in. I can't do anything. Right? I gotta fucking leave. Dude, I had to.
Cookies are tasty.
Bro,
He's like, what?
I had to literally leave through the back entrance because if I walked through that fucking crowd and one of them grabbed me with that retard strength and just sat me down the whole
The
time.
halfway house retard strength is different.
Son.
They most of the time they body people. It's not with strategy.
Son.
It's like, oh, I like to play.
Yeah.
Choke, all shit. He's done. It's like, oh, fuck.
Son.
What happened?
Son, it was gonna
Like,
be
cookies
crazy.
are delicious.
Dude,
And it's just like-
and we're gonna play Steal the Bacon with me. Anyway, so that's my flagrant thought of the week.
Can you talk about what happened in Connecticut?
What happened? Wait, what? Oh my!
What happened in Connecticut?
This is
This
the
same
worst.
joke. This
Son,
same
this
joke.
is worse. This is
Jesus Christ. All
This
right.
same joke.
What was I was about to say, like, you know your fucking audience.
This same joke is fucking
Yeah.
going crazy, dude. That's why I can't bring it out always. I can't bring it out always. But when I do, bro. So I was in Connecticut and there's this girl in the audience and she's just like being one of these annoying fucking drunk girls. It's just going, woo! woo, like randomly a joke. Like that's not how you react to a joke, but you're going, woo. Like she keeps saying it, and I give her a couple warnings like, hey, you can't just yell out because it's distracting. You could yell out during like a silent pause that I'm actually as part of the bit. Like you're just fucking the flow up. Woo! And I go, if you do it again, I'm kicking you out. I know that you're being enthusiastic, but you're just distracting everything, so you're going to have to get kicked out, right? And I do the retard joke, and she just goes, woo! At the end, I go, that's it. You got to go. You got to go. You get kicked out, right?
God, no.
I kick this girl out, right? I finished the show. After the show, who come up to you? You came up to me?
Yeah.
Alex comes up to me. He's like, dude, did you know the girl you kicked out was fully retarded? So she was just relating to the bit. Like, she was like, she was into it.
She's like, I've been waiting for this part the whole night. He's going to do my joke.
I kicked her out at the one joke she actually got.
I was on full panic mode.
Dude, Alex like, you got to go out there and like smooth this over. She could like write a letter. I'm like, write a letter? Who's you going to write?
How about
I'm like, bro, there's one thing she's not going to do. She got the fucking crayon in her hand upside down.
Oh man! So, I have told Drew. This
why do
is
we always do the slow jokes when the people just yelling like, yeah.
Yo,
It's great. Something happened. It never happened.
Just going for it today.
now I told you this is probably like your funniest joke because it's not the most clever, but it's just raw fucking funny.
Bro,
like that.
it is. It's
like,
just intense. It gets
it
intense.
hits you. That shit hits you. Son.
Like the way that people laugh at it is different. They laugh different. No. If they laugh like this, they just go, like their eyes go wide and they're like, what is happening? Dude, I got to pee so bad. Can we pause for a second?
Yeah.
Sure. I got to pee so bad. And I'm back. Did we finish that combo? I forget.
Nah, you left off
That
on.
was it was heavy.
You left off on the way they laugh, and I think people laugh that way because
It's
one of
real.
those-
It's dude. It's
we
like,
all have that thing inside of us when we know what to laugh. Well, not us because we're pieces of shit.
Yeah.
But like most people have that thing where like they kind of like stop themselves knowing they're not supposed to laugh at it, but like in the back of their head it's funny.
Yeah.
And I think that part of your brain kind of reverses.
Yep.
Like you laugh first, then you try to catch it. Like
and that's
fuck.
dude, and that's why like it's like I'll bust it out if I really like a crowd. And one of the great things that we've curated is we've removed that kind of like taking a moral stance about jokes with my audience, right? It's like they come out there for it, and for me, like there's a lot of people that can do like clever bits, right? Like you see like a lot of like one-liners, like misdirection, that kind of shit like that. For me, clever should always be the addition on the bit, right? It should start out at like raw funny. Like Patrice O'Neal started out raw funny and then added the clever.
Yeah.
But it starts out in this visceral, real place.
Harassment day. Boom.
Boom.
But then it gets clever.
Yes.
Like, oh, okay.
We should have sexual harassment day. Hilarious. There's nothing clever about that sentence.
Terrible
It's just
premise.
hilarious fucking idea.
Yeah.
And then you add the clever after. And that's what I love about like that bit is like we start in this fucking raw place and then we turn it into some funny, but whatever, it doesn't matter. My bad if there was any, retards at that show that were like offended by it or whatever, and that's not my intention. My intention is that we all laugh. The joke isn't even making fun of retards; it's making fun of another group. But I won't even, I won't get to, I won't tell too much of that.
Flagrant.
We'll save that for the special.
God damn. Yeah, please. Hey, there it is. Can I tell you one of the greatest sports moments of all time happened this past weekend?
Please, because we have a lot of
Woo! Kamaru Usman.
bro.
My God.
Okay, so
Let's talk about the Nigerian nightmare.
This
if
guy,
anybody who hasn't seen
MMA fight. It was an amazing fight.
Amazing fight.
Kamaru Usman fights Colby Covington. Many of you guys know Colby Covington. The interesting thing about Colby is he is playing a character. It is a gimmick.
He's healing it up.
He's healing it up, and his heel is that he's this MAGA Trump supporter.
Yes.
He
got
has
the Trump shout out. He came to the cage with Candace Owens.
The whole thing.
He came out with the Make America Great Again hats, all that.
the whole
shit.
thing.
Yeah,
And what's interesting is that he was kind of like toiling in obscurity until he leaned into this character, and now he
kind of like what's his face?
Henry
the other-
Cejudo.
not the other guy. He fought Anderson
Tito Ortiz.
Silva. White dude. He does commentary now.
Chael Sonnen.
Chael Sonnen. There you go.
Exactly,
Same guy.
yeah. So like he realized that you need antics. He went with these type of antics.
Yes.
And And I mean, from my understanding, from what I've been told, is that he has like a guy who worked for the WWE writing for him.
Oh yeah.
And like he writes all his stuff, and he has like papers that he's memorizing before he goes.
He's fucking reading the Trump Jr. book during the press conference, the Triggered book,
100%
and shit. Like
so he's on.
He
it.
even said he's gonna try and go to WWE after this. Like,
right.
That was his next.
So
step.
he fights Kamaru Usman, and Usman fights this really brilliant fight. But Colby fought a good fight too. It was a very competitive fight.
Came out like a bat out of hell.
Colby won the first round.
Yeah, he was definitely
debatable about the second one. It was a close fight, but Kamaru is a brilliant fighter, and he made adjustments. He started attacking the body. Colby had never really been hit like that to the body, and
slowed him down,
and took away some of his energy. What is the word I'm looking for?
I guess it's speed. Not speed.
Not speed. It's your cardio.
Right.
Endurance.
Those body endurance. Body shots remove that fucking endurance. And Kamaru Usman slowly broke him down, and then that fifth round TKO'd him. But like really brilliant, methodical fight. He was so poised and like so. His game plan, he made a switch. Most fighters can't make a switch because he was outboxed in that first round.
Oh yeah, it was mostly stand up.
Oh, and because what happened is both of them are wrestlers that are elite, and they neutralize each other's wrestling. So they're like, listen, we could spend all day trying to go down and sprawl. Fuck it, we're gonna stand up here and kick and punch.
Yes.
And in the first round, I was like, oh, Colby's gonna TKO this guy. I thought it was over.
Win. I thought Colby was gonna win for like
Kamaru made a fucking change.
Yeah,
and that is a brilliant fighting move. If you can, in the midst of war, make a change, you're a next level fighter.
Motherfucker's disciplined as fuck.
Discipline.
It's a
that wrestling background, dude.
It's a great fight to watch if you're a casual like myself.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because
it's the most exciting part of MMA. It's not this wrestling like on the ground shit.
No, it's like watching a real life street fight. It's like what would happen if you just got a bunch of cars and around in a circle and you just had two guys just fucking go at it. You got one guy who is the noble champion, Nigerian man, doesn't really talk much, very strong, silent type, and you got this fucking like myself. And then you got this white man who is playing up the heel, and in a way, and the great part about it was, and if you watch wrestling, sometimes crowds swing, and if you see Colby coming to the cage, you know this is UFC country. This is like a lot of motherfuckers who like that "Make America Great Again" shit. Motherfuckers was chanting USA for that dude like a lot of the time during the fight. And as the fight wore on, and they saw like the warrior fucking spirit in this dude, just chopped this dude down little by little, broke his fucking jaw with a mean, I think it was a left hand, mean fucking
straight right.
Straight right.
Yep.
Mean fucking right hand, broke his jaw. Give it to Colby though, because the motherfucker, he's tough as shit.
They both fought brilliantly.
Great fucking fight.
Here's the thing. And this is the crazy thing. If I thought the stoppage was early, but I'm not upset at it. I think that Colby was defending himself. I think that Kamaru could have got the stoppage very easily, but I thought it was a little early.
Yeah.
But if he makes it through the fifth round, they looked at the scorecards, and I think two of them were tied or something.
Yeah, but it was different because I was listening to Rogan. Rogan said they got to fire the fucking scorecard judges because those motherfuckers don't know what they're doing. Because he thought, obviously, Kamaru fought the better fight. But I'm watching it. I'm listening to the crowd. I'm listening to the
it's
commentators
close.
and shit. I'm like,
besides the fifth round,
by the fourth round, by the third or fourth round, I was literally watching it like this result's gonna piss me off because they're gonna go the distance.
Yep.
And I think they're gonna give it to this dude, Colby. You know, but
I mean, I'm pissed off that I would have liked a questionable decision. Just because it creates a trilogy potential. Yeah. And there's nothing better than these two guys going back and forth about it. But like,
I think they'll go back at it again.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem. I hope they do, but here's the problem. And they should, but if it went to a decision, at least for Kamaru, who deserved it, because I think he won bare minimum 3 rounds convincingly, right? Of what I saw. If it's a decision, he can always dispute the decision and go, let's run it back.
You can't dispute a knockout.
You can't dispute getting your ass fucking whooped like that, right? So there's less of an impetus for the rematch. Yeah. But I think that if he gets a couple more impressive victories, you will see it.
And where Colby fucked up is because even like with all the antics that, you know, generally, personally, I'm not a fan of, but as a fan of wrestling and drama and all this other shit, I'm like, I get what you're doing. This is dope. I'll pay to watch this. The thing he should have done is said, Kamaru fought a great fight. I did what I had to do, yada, yada, yada. he sprints from the fucking cage.
Yeah, it was really weird. Yeah,
real pussy shit. He was talking wild cat shit the entire fucking lead up.
Yeah,
I don't even think he did a fucking press conference. Maybe because I don't know if he had to go to the hospital or whatever.
Right.
Like he didn't do the press conference. And then the first thing he does is get on Twitter and bitch out the ref and bitch out the scorecards and all this other shit and say it was an early stoppage. Like, my dude, you won me over. Even like personally, I didn't want you to win because I don't fuck with your you know, the things that you're talking about. But during the fight, you're looking on the timeline. The motherfucker's like, yo, say what you want about this motherfucker Colby. He's tough as shit. Like, he's tough as shit. He's going at it. And then he just kind of went back to bitching shit. Like, normally people do their fucking in the bedroom, not the octagon. Mark Goodard. I go in there to kill or be killed. You robbed me of that. You robbed the people of a fair fight. You should be ashamed of yourself. Fake nut shot, fake eye poke, fake stoppage, fake ref. Well, like, the motherfucker's gonna kill you if they didn't stop.
Here's what I'm thinking is, like, if you thought that he hated immigrants before this fight, do you know what I mean? Like, if you thought he was like a gimmick or a character in MAGA, he's definitely MAGA now. Like, now he is. I think this is what took him to get on board.
Oh no, I don't. I absolutely do not think he's playing a character. I just think he's doing.
No, he was. No,
I think he's doing. I think he's. This is what he really believes. So he's just turning it up to 11.
So here's the thing. That's what he said, right? That's what he said. That, like, oh, I finally got the courage to do what's inside me. But he needs to say that, because if it comes out, he's a gimmick. But, like, literally, I was talking to Schaub, you know, Brendan Schaub. He does, you know, Fighter and the Kid, and he does Food Truck Diaries. So they did a Food Truck Diaries. He's, like, going over what he has to say when they stop the camera. And then Schaub's like, bro, you don't have to do this. If you want, we can just do it normal. And he goes, no, I got to do it. Like, reluctantly. And then he's talking to, you know, he, like, hires girls to be with him. And he's like, could you girls, like, I don't know, maybe massage my back or something during, like, the whole thing is shtick. So it's like, and he's exhausted by the shtick. Yeah. But at the same point, he's almost out of the UFC if he doesn't do the shtick.
You paying, bro. You got to do it. You have to do that shit. You have to do that shit. Have you seen this fucking, this video?
But wait, Drew, you don't think he, like, is Republican? Like, you don't think at all?
Dude, he was best friends with all these guys, like Jorge Masvidal, like all these dudes, like they were all homies. Like, there's even a point once when he was in, like, Florida, and, like, some Muslim dudes, like, run up on him and they're like, how do you feel about the Muslim faith or something like that? And he's like, and, like, they caught him when he's not, like, character, and he goes, no, I love Muslims. It's great. It's like, you should believe in whatever you want. This is America. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, oh, like, it's complete shtick. And I was talking to Rogan and them about it. He's like, it's just shtick. Now it's convincing because he looks the part. Yeah. And there's this feel, like, it's so hilarious to see, like, Twitter get so excited, and legit journalists, sports journalists, were getting excited about it.
Yeah,
like,
Andreas was going in.
But, like, you know, he's faking it. It's like getting seriously happy about, like, The Undertaker losing because you hate dead people or something.
Well, here's
like,
the thing. I'm
like, ooh, I hate people who come back from the dead. Finally, someone got him. John Cena got him. It's like, wait, are you taking this at face value? Like, you're a journalist. Like, you know the real.
Well, what I think is, and Andreas is a smart fucking dude.
Andreas is so funny. That motherfucker act like there's like a hurricane around his mentions. If you look at anybody who tweets him, they're fake. Like, he's like, all these MAGA people in my mentions, I'm looking at them, they got no followers and they're no it's like, but that's, it's not
them
real.
Though. That's them though. Like, I get that shit too.
I think Andreas made all those accounts.
No, those bots and shit are real as fuck. But I guess, yeah, if it is shtick, great. That's shtick for him.
Yeah, but if you
that doesn't mean like hundreds of thousands of people are watching, like, yeah, fuck those niggers up.
Yeah,
like,
but,
yo, whoa.
But here's the thing, what you should do is, if you really wanted to fight it.
Yeah, that's what they sound like. I know it's rough. It's hard to
hear. But if you want to fight it, what you do is this: you go, hey, this is shtick. Any of you guys following this, you're idiots. It's fake. Expose the gimmick.
But he doubled down, though.
Of course he's going to double down.
But like Conor did that too. Conor had shtick. Conor was, you know,
it was never this kind
when
of
he
shtick.
was fighting homeboy.
Actually, I
Russian
believe
dude.
Conor, 100%.
When he was fighting Russian dude, he was like, bro, like, after fucking dude hopped the fence, he was like, dude, I'm just trying to sell tickets, man. I'm just trying to get buys. Like, he wasn't trying to disrespect homeboy. I forgot the dude's name. The dude with
Khabib?
the fucking
Khabib,
yeah, he wasn't trying to disrespect. He was like, oh man, just trying to sell tickets, dude.
Yeah,
like, after you take the L, like, this is the most cringy shit. Did you see this?
No.
Henry Cueto.
Cejudo.
Yeah. Cejudo. Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't speak Mexican. Just kidding.
Yes, God, I love this shit.
Press play. This is the most cringeworthy. If you want to talk shtick.
This is great.
Goddamn it.
This is great. Yeah, this is good. What did he say? Your movie sucks.
Yeah. Look at you, man. That's how
they
you
made a
sell
movie about
tickets.
That is
That's
how you sell tickets.
Yeah. Oh, this is
God
great.
damn it.
This is
Yo,
great. If
I
they
love how
keep
the
doing
girl
this, it's
flinched
gonna
up
be
for the
they're gonna take over WWE.
They because
That's all UFC's been missing.
son. And why wouldn't you watch this instead of WWE?
Of course.
This is real stakes.
But everybody's getting hip to it, though, man. Everybody's getting hip to it, to the game WWE plays. Everybody watches the UFC. It's like, yo, this is real fighting. This is real fucking action. This is real stakes. Real money's on the line. Why isn't this more popular than the WWE? Nobody's watching WWE for action. I mean, some people are. I do.
For the
I
drama
watch it.
and the storyline.
They watch it for the drama. They watch it for the storyline. You got to bring people in. You got to tell a fucking story.
Yep.
We watch people. We got YouTube now. We can watch motherfuckers fight in the street any fucking day. We can watch people die if we're
Give
that
us
bloodthirsty.
storylines.
Like, we need some shit to get emotionally invested in. And that's what the UFC has lacked for the past couple of years. Every super popular or successful
This
UFC
is
fighter
great.
has had
Son,
a fucking shtick
this is fucking
or a
great.
storyline.
Go to this. Go to Twitter and find the promo, and I posted it for the Conor McGregor Donald Cerrone fight. Have you guys seen this promo video?
Oh, cold.
This is
cold.
unbelievable.
I fucked around and bought some Proper 12 over the weekend just because of the fucking, just because of the video. And nobody's paying me to say this. It's quite delicious.
Is it really?
It is actually really
I
good.
heard
I
it's
like it
dog
better than
shit.
Jameson. I like
heard
it better
it's
than
dog
Jameson.
shit.
Oh, okay.
I
It's a
like it
whiskey.
better. It's a
Okay.
whiskey.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same. It's the
I
same
was like,
joint.
wait a
So,
minute, guys.
it's
not
kind of
Love Duce.
okay. Go to the beginning. Can we do volume on this or what?
All right, let's pump this up. But the UFC motherfucking needs that guy back more than anything. Conor McGregor.
Oh yeah. We can play the audio for the SoundCloud, but maybe we'll just mute it for YouTube.
Yeah. All right,
Just
so I guess
mark the time and then
So we're
mute
gonna
it.
talk over this while we're
No,
playing
just
this?
mark the time, then we'll.
All right, cool.
Okay. The song is great. So it's just Connor knocking motherfuckers out.
Prime Connor.
Ooh, Jose Aldo, sit down, son. Sit
7
down.
seconds.
Don't worry, we won't have to deal with this much longer, Eddin. Look at that. Oh. This is a great shot.
The wealth.
Dude.
Woo! He's like, I don't need to fight for the fucking money, goddammit. You see my car? See my fit?
This shot.
Oh.
This shot. How do you not root for that?
Motherfucking cowboy.
On the white horse, though. Sit down. Boom.
Woof.
I love that little sound. Boom.
Oh,
sit
shit.
down.
The game
it's
needed
lit.
Connor, bro.
It's
the
lit.
game missed Connor, goddammit.
Amazing, whoever edited it.
This would be a great place to watch. A great fight to watch at
the new
compound. Exactly.
Ooh, maybe we invite some
Whoever
folks.
edited that was amazing because every major hit was with a snare drum.
You heard the snare. I love
that. So fucking smart to do that shit.
God
damn. They brought fucking music video aspects to a fucking fight promo.
And dude, that first scene of him on the horse in the snow.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, and what a great juxtaposition. He's got the rides, the cars, the glitz, and this guy's just like country.
All-American boy on the cowboy hat. Oh, I can't wait.
Dude, I'm not going to lie.
But I think they took that out of the Stylebender promo.
Probably.
Which one
I mean, like, when he puts his videos out, like, he adds that type of music video stylistic thing to it. And I think UFC is like, oh, shit, we need to... I think they need to step their shit up from watching Stylebender.
Yo, the impact that he has
promoted
is crazy.
himself.
Oh, he did his own video on it? Oh, I didn't know
he does
made
a lot of the, ones he puts out after where it's like the anime that's built into it and shit like that. Like he's doing that.
Yeah,
that's not UFC.
Next level. That is next level.
Boy, it was a good fight weekend, man.
Dude, it's Terrence Crawford, like, dude, the fight game is in such a good situation right now, boxing and UFC. And I'm like, I find myself really intrigued with UFC.
Nah, especially UFC, even boxing too, but UFC especially. Right about now, they kind of get into a nice groove. They got the Nigerian takeover happening. They got Conor coming back. They got, I think, Amanda Nunes next week, who she's probably
no, she won.
Oh, she fought already.
Oh
yeah, well, she was knocking bitches out. That's what she does.
Did y'all talk about Anthony Joshua? I know that's boxing, but.
Well, how about Anthony Joshua?
Yeah, with Andy Ruiz, that fight.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the fight. Yeah. I was thinking of Rumble Johnson for some reason.
We didn't talk about it, but
the fight was ass. He was like, I was partying too much.
He was on defense the whole fight. Ruiz came in not even in shape.
Not even in shape. Yeah, it was just such a huge disappointment. The whole thing.
He just wanted, but you could tell he just wanted his payday, and he's probably never gonna fight again.
And he proved everybody right. It's like you look at Ruiz and you're like, oh, you don't have any discipline. You're a fat guy. And then, of course, he goes, no, I'm just, my metabolism's slow, but I do work hard. And then for the biggest moment in your career, you come in 15 pounds overweight. It's like, no, you don't have discipline.
Yeah.
That's why you're fat. There's no other reason besides you do not have discipline.
Yeah.
Simple as that. At the end of the day, having abs is different than being skinny. Like, you can be skinny and not have abs. You could be skinny and not be like Diesel.
Abs
but
take
like,
discipline.
Discipline is what stops you from being extremely overweight.
Yeah.
So do you have it, do you not? And Andy just doesn't have it.
Speaking of abs, no homo.
What happened?
Have you seen Homeboy from what's his name? Kamel, the guy in
Nanjiani?
Why you pointing at me like I would know?
I was pointing at Alex. I thought he would know. Have you seen this motherfucker?
Is that really him?
Knowing.
Bro, yes, he's training for he's getting in shape for not Inhumans. What's the name of the fucking Eternals, the Marvel movie.
Yeah.
You seen this motherfucker?
Yeah, I saw a picture. I didn't think it was real. It's real?
Bro.
Yeah, but I be thinking these, like,
never
especially
been-
the Hollywood guys, because they don't get
they're all
tested
on
or whatever.
steroids.
So they pump them full of shit. No, yeah. I'm not hating.
They ain't in competition. Yo, listen. If I was famous, if I was in Hollywood and I'm about to be in a fucking Marvel movie next year, give me.
And it's
all
just
the
funny
because
he goes from
Give me
Mr.
all the
Funny
rights.
Guy.
It's not competition.
He goes from Mr.
It's not
Funny
like you
Guy
get,
to
like,
now
look at this motherfucker. You dead ass.
Like, I don't even, how you get a chiseled jaw?
How the fuck? Yeah, I'm saying, like, where the jaw come from? He got the fucking John Cena veins on his right arm and shit. Like, you know how hard it is to get those? Yo, I was kind of aroused. I was kind of aroused. I was looking at this. I was like, yo.
And our final announcement this week.
One last announcement. Since Akaashs isn't here, I am gay. Well, I know if Akaashs sees this, he's probably gonna have
He gonna hate. He's gonna hate because Akaashs is like top 3 Indians.
bro.
Now this guy,
Then to now, son.
Look at that shit.
yeah, that's crazy.
God damn.
That's crazy.
Nah, that motherfucker got ripped. I don't get a lot of male envy as far as like just abs though. Like,
What
I
is
look
the
at somebody's
Eternals?
abs and I'm like, yo,
Can you explain that? What is
Eternals.
the Eternals?
It's a Marvel movie coming out in the next couple of years about like these motherfuckers who have lived for like 300 years throughout the universe and fucking coming together to save the fucking world. And I think Angelina Jolie's in it. I think it's supposed to be a big movie.
So
Supposed to be a big hit.
it's gonna be more Guardians of the Galaxy type stuff. So they
Like
go
outer
to
space
different universes and shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but goddamn, I don't get male envy for a lot of shit. But if you got good abs, I could look at you and be like, I like those. like if you got like that's the biggest conversation a guy could give a chick, right? Ain't that the biggest? That's the biggest compliment you could give like another dude. Like you won't say they look good, but like you're like, I can see why bitches like that. Like, that's the closest I'll get to saying like you look good, bro. I'm like, nah.
I can see why bitches like that. Yo,
bro. I got ab envy, man.
I be complimented the fit. I compliment the fit.
You can compliment a fit?
That's my way of saying,
But
like,
a
oh,
fit
you look
is
good.
around
a fit
it.
is,
Yeah,
you know
like,
what I mean?
it's like,
That shit looks nice on him.
yeah, like,
oh, no, that looks good on you. You got that. You got that. Oh, yeah, my motherfucking Paper Boy's in it, too. Should be a good movie. But holy shit. I am aroused.
All right, I'm gonna switch the topic before Kaz comes on the bottom of our
Sorry,
table.
guys. Yo, how about them Lakers, bro?
Fucking wow. Okay, I need to shout out one guy real quick.
Shout him out.
Asshole Army. There's a guy, and his Instagram is Karma with 2 A's, CarmaAsabitch. So it's like Karma's a bitch. He got fired from his job because his job found out that he was listening to my stand-up clips or watching my stand-up clips.
Okay.
Now, I think he might have just been trash at his job, but and they just used it as an excuse. And I asked him that as a possibility. That being said, but he's from the Toronto area. If you're from the Toronto area, asshole Army, represent. You know what I mean? You need some security. You need somebody, and I don't know what exactly his other expertises are, but holler at him because we can't have people getting fired while they're supporting. So Karma's a bitch. Go DM him and just help him out if you possibly can, or give him a job lead or something like that, or take care of your boy.
Let them know the Army
Because
provides.
Real talk, the Army provides. We got to do that shit 100%.
All day.
What else we got, Kaz?
Yo, these fucking Lakers, bro.
Yeah, so Lakers are legit, huh?
Yeah.
I haven't been watching.
Bruh.
This pass is dope. They
makes
just
me
having
sick.
fun. Oh,
God damn. It's like motherfuckers having career years again. Dwight Howard's back from the dead. Fucking Anthony Davis probably going to be defensive player of the year. LeBron's fucking killing. And he's got all that time to be a good father on top of that.
yo, question.
Yo.
Did you see the clips from Bronny's game?
Yes.
I wasn't that impressed, B.
Bro, he's in 9th grade.
But he's playing against seniors. Is that why?
Yes. Dog, these are like highly ranked high school teams that he's playing against.
Okay,
like
okay.
Sierra Canyon is number one team in the country. They have a bunch of, outside of Zaire Wade and Bron James, they have like a mad high D1 guys on their team.
Right.
So just the fact that Bronny Jr. is even getting time on his team is impressive. So
But his shot selection was peculiar. It was like all these floaters from like 20 feet out.
yeah,
Like,
but the motherfucker, I mean, here's one thing I gotta understand about Bron is he's what, 14 years old?
15, I think.
14, 15 years old. I forgot the team he's playing against. St. Vincent St. Mary, which was also
Right.
nationally ranked.
Of course,
They're still
yeah.
all the best players in Ohio. They won. It was his best game as a high school player.
Right.
Like I've watched other games where maybe he'll have like a layup or a dunk and it'll be on SportsCenter or whatever. But like this is like an actual game where like he really played well. He got MVP of the fucking game and shit.
Right.
Like he's no Mikey Williams, and Mikey Williams is probably like the best 9th grader in the country. He's the one who drops like 77.
Yeah,
and
it's
fucking
unbelievable.
unbelievable kid. But Bronny is, you know what I mean? Like
It makes me think this. It makes me think
he's a different player than LeBron.
Yes, but in order for him to like reach the league, he's gonna have to have a growth spurt.
I think he will.
How tall
I
is
think he will. He was only
6 foot,
he's about 6'3".
6'1".
6'2".
Oh, 6'2". Okay, yeah. So here's the thing with Bronny. I saw him over the summer at the Peace Jam.
Yeah.
When he was playing for
Yo, Savannah's so fucking dope. You see Savannah in the background?
The realest.
That's what the fuck is up.
the realest. I saw him at the Peace Jam. I was doing color commentary, and he was only about like barely 6 feet at the time.
I
So
think he's
growing.
6'1". I think he's 6'1". Maybe
He was
and
barely
he is growing.
dunking at the time. That was
Right.
the thing. He was like he had like the rim grazer dunk package in 2K. Now the motherfucker's getting windmills and shit, catching alley oops. Like,
Right.
bro, he's got time. He's got 3-4 years in high school to fill out, grow up, get stronger. He's a baby. He's 7 games to his high school career,
He's
though.
gonna be good.
He's gonna be very fucking good. Injury, you know.
I just
preventing.
wasn't shocked with his. I just wasn't blown away. That kid, Mikey Williams or whatever like that, he's got some clips
He's
where it's like
ridiculous.
you're blown away.
He's ridiculous, yeah.
But
they're
yes,
like
he
the
is
same
younger.
height too. Like Mikey Williams is probably like same build, like
Yeah.
6'2", 6'3", or whatever. But the motherfucker hops out the gym and he gets buckets.
But I think that Bronny, obviously, if he grows to a
That's Mikey Williams, by the way.
Yeah,
Same
it's
age.
insane.
Just fucking, just
Insane.
ridiculous.
Insane. There's something different with this kid. So,
I don't know what the fuck is going on with high school
That
kids
scared
lately.
me.
But
Like, yo, you got it.
yeah, nah, he's a beast.
From here, you got it.
He's a beast in a sense where I know they're not gonna play this kid this season. They don't want that. I don't think,
Sierra Canyon, you don't want that.
Not
Yeah,
yet.
yeah, yeah.
Not yet. I don't think Bronny's there yet. But I've been watching this kid
I
since
think
7th
Bronny
grade.
can be good. I
Yeah.
just, from what I see right now, he needs to grow.
Yeah.
Because I think that you see certain things early. Like you see jumping ability.
Mm-hmm.
You see like fast twitch kind of like movement early.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a little kid on Bronny's team. He's much smaller. I think he runs point.
Yeah.
You know the kid I'm talking about?
I want to say it's Dior Johnson. I don't know. But
I
he's
mean,
one of the,
agility
not
is
good.
through the roof, right?
Okay.
Like just bouncing back and forth. It's unbelievable. But he's small. So for Bronny, with what he has,
Mm-hmm.
I think he needs to be up there in that like 6'7", 6'8" range.
I was thinking like if he tops out at 6'6", 6'7", he'll be all right. He doesn't got to be 6'9" like his dad. But if he tops out at 6'6", I can see him being like a good shooting guard. I can see him like a DeMar DeRozan type.
Right.
I can see him being like one of those like slashing guards and shit. Like he's 6'2".
We're also putting the LeBron James
That's
pressure on him.
I
We're
think
like
that's
giving him
a
the expectation
major
of
thing that
LeBron.
we gotta-
When he
Here's
doesn't
the
have
thing.
to be, yeah.
A lot of people are saying like, "Oh my God, like we're putting too much pressure on the kid." I'm like, yo, if there's anybody more built for this type of pressure,
It's him because
It's-
he's lived with it his whole life.
he's
Yeah.
lived with it his entire life. The motherfucker has been in the public eye since he was. I remember the first time I saw LeBron James Jr.
Right.
I think when they first won, I want to say the Heat championship or whatever. He might have been 5 or 6 years old or whatever.
Right.
But goddamn, it's a big kid. Jesus Christ, who the fuck is that? Goddamn. Yeah, 8th grade too. Shit. Jesus Christ. But nah, man. Like I think putting the LeBron James #1 player in the country straight to the league type of pressure on him is a lot.
Yeah.
Is he going to be a productive college and eventual NBA player? I think so. I don't think that's asking too much, but at the same time,
Or you think he's going to college?
ooh, I don't know. I mean, by the
won't
time,
have to.
by the time,
Nope.
I mean, I think by the time he's, it's time for him to go to college. I think that rule will be long gone.
Right.
I think in the next 3 or 4 years.
I don't think if he has to, he's not gonna go. 'Cause
Here's the thing: if I am LeBron James Jr., go to college.
really?
Go to college.
Money ain't gonna make no difference.
No, it ain't about money, bro.
Learn the game.
You gotta let him be that kid, bro.
Yeah, but
You gotta let him
don't,
be that kid. Like he's
you don't
already.
think LeBron wants to play with him?
I do.
And I
do.
think so. The fastest way to get him to the league, come straight to the league.
I totally understand that, but I think just him as.
Make it
I don't
happen.
think he's gonna get that kid experience now, obviously, and the high school has like the fact that ESPN is broadcasting these games as a freshman. They're not there to see Zaire Wade. They're not here there to see all these other. They're there to see Braun Jr.
Right.
By the time he gets to that college level, I don't think going to school or going to the NBA, I don't think he's going to be any more popular. You know what I'm saying? The hype's only going to get bigger.
Right.
So I do think he should do a year of college. I think he should do that March Madness experience. I think he needs to go and be the man somewhere for a little bit. And granted, we're talking about a freshman in high school here. But I think he should do at least 1 year in school before he makes that jump. Like you said, I do think he needs to get that growth spurt. I think he'll get it because he's got Braun. He's got Braun.
No, but
yeah,
I was looking
I didn't
up-
hit a growth spurt until I was 16.
So LeBron,
Yeah,
LeBron, that's funny.
you had one. It was just this way.
So LeBron was 6 foot at 13, and then in 2 years, his sophomore year, he was 6'6".
Yeah, I can see that.
So he could go up.
I can see that. I think he'll get that. I think whatever fucking whatever shit they gave LaMelo Ball.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be giving Braun.
They're gonna give him that shit because LaMelo Ball. I was like, I don't
Shot up.
I don't see it in lots. And now the motherfucker 6'7".
Yeah.
He was like 6'1" when he was,
Nah, it's a different situation.
He's
Yo,
a
did
grown
y'all
man.
did y'all see the video of the Patriots thing?
What the Spygate too?
Son, the Patriots were cheating to beat the Bengals. If there's ever a waste of cheating, bro. The Bengals have won 1 game this year
Honestly though, kind of makes me respect the Patriots.
because it's that serious to them.
It's
but
that fucking serious. We don't give a fuck on the Bengals.
yo, they're
side.
really trying to
We
brush this shit
cheating.
under the rug.
We cheating.
So that means they do it every game.
Every
Every
fucking
game.
game.
So it's like, and the crazy thing about it is, Nobody seems to care. It's almost like Trump with the impeachment. It's just like, oh, that's the new news. It's like we're used to
Yeah, that is kind of crazy.
the Patriots, I guess,
It's
cheating.
what they do. It's part of the culture. It's the Patriot way. If there is they've said this. Bill Belichick has said, if there is a line to dance on, we're gonna dance and come dangerously close to that line until until it shocks us. And so it's like, all right, well, we won't do that. But ever since, I guess, like the last Spygate, he was like, we're not even going to come to the line at all. We're not going to do any of this shit.
Yeah.
But clearly they're fucking lying.
Yeah.
Clearly they're still going to fucking do that shit. Because that's how the way Belichick gets down. And you know what? If you've gone this way, like, does anybody give a fuck when they count rings? No.
Jay Glazer reported that shit like he had the biggest news of the century,
Yeah.
son.
And nobody
gave a fuck. Like,
I know.
Yo, he was going in too.
Man, this shit looks like fucking Watergate footage, and nobody
Yo.
gives a shit.
But it was funny hearing the guy that got this like real New England guy going.
Oh, so he's telling them. Oh, my bad. I'm reading the caption. So like the security stuff, like, hey, you can't film that. I was like, oh, my bad. We'll delete it.
He
And it's-
literally, but you got to hear his voice, son. He's this New England guy. He goes, yeah, we could delete it right off. I can't do a Boston accent, but we could delete it right off of here. No, because there's no other way to see it. My camera's the only thing I have. Da da da. I mean, they're clearly trying to cheat.
They're clearly trying to cheat. Like,
They are
they're
cheating.
They're well aware that this is illegal, and they're telling him, hey, you can't do that. He's still filming.
And he was like, I think his excuse they were getting like B-roll or some shit like that.
We're getting B-roll of the field because they were following around a scout. That
You know
was
what he's
the argument.
doing?
And the
He's
scout,
stalling.
And the scout
He's
wasn't
stalling
even
as long as he can.
on
Like, he's
that.
probably asking questions, those answers. Oh, well, what happens if we do this? Da, 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 da. Like, they're still filming the shit. God damn. Shout out Jay Glazer,
I mean,
bro.
so here's the thing that is
the
interesting,
only
right?
5-foot man
Amongst all these athletes. So here's the thing that's interesting, right?
Yeah.
Is we don't care if the Patriots cheat or not because we expect them to cheat, right? That's us. But if you're somebody that put a lot of money on that game, right? And you bet against the Patriots, if you're someone who's put a lot of money on any game this season against the Patriots, you must assume that this is not the first time they cheated. They've been doing this every single week.
Oh, yeah.
So if that's the case, as someone who bet, I would be going nuts because I'd be like, whoa.
It should be on.
Losing that bet, I should be able to get my money back at the very least.
Listen, that's why motherfuckers' legs are going to start getting broken as the years go by, man. As gambling is becoming legal in every state.
Yeah.
That's why they're making motherfuckers have, like, real heights for NBA, real fucking injury reports. Like, they can't fucking hold that shit back until, like, the day of. Like, all this shit. It's because of fucking gambling. And if you're fucking up the gambling money, either the league going to take care of it, and if the league don't take care of it, you know who's going to take care of it? Motherfuckers that take care of shit.
For real.
And that ain't gonna be pretty for nobody. We're gonna start getting fucking niggas throwing games, throwing fucking what's this, the Black Sox scandal when they threw the whole fucking World Series. Like, that's just gonna come back.
Right.
That's just gonna come back, especially if they're not really disciplining them over that. And it's the Patriots, so they cheat.
Well,
Whatever.
it's just I'm surprised more people. Maybe nobody put money on the Bengals, and maybe that's the issue. But I'm surprised
Somebody
more people
did.
haven't caused a stink over this.
Somebody did, and the Patriots did the cute shit and let the Bengals like score first. Like, see, we weren't even using the shit, and then just fucking demolish them for the rest of the game.
I didn't watch
Like,
the game.
Yeah,
Did they do that?
they got on the board early at first. I'm like, oh, that's smart, Belichick. Let them think. You know what I mean?
So here's
They got
what's
something
the
going.
most impressive thing about this. Let's say the Patriots have been cheating like this for the last 10 years,
Yeah.
right? Not a single snitch. Like, even in the organization,
Like,
wait
they
for it,
run like
wait
a
for
mob,
it,
bro.
wait for it. Even in the organization that will cut you ruthlessly. They will cut you ruthlessly.
Over allegations.
Over
too.
allegation, over anything. Not a single snitch.
Oh, that means not a lot of people know. Probably the teammates don't know. It's probably just
Oh, it's gonna
Brady.
happen.
Well, then how are they going to learn about the plays that the other team has, right? The
gonna
advantage that they're doing is going. The advantage that they have is they know what plays the other team is going to run.
Yeah, but the offensive and defensive coordinator. It's like, hey, I think
So
you should
so
go
you know
with
what it is. So you know
this.
what it is. Allegedly, the people filming this are like part of like their the Patriots like .com like channel or whatever, right? So allegedly,
So nothing can come back to Belichick.
Yeah, Belichick's whole stink is like, oh, we don't even touch that stuff. That's PR. That's yada yada yada.
Yeah.
But you know, there's a guy
Of course.
who connects with another guy,
Of
and that's like,
course.
yo,
Yeah,
One of those.
Keep,
Right.
you know what I'm
Keep
saying?
the
Circle
like,
nice and tight.
Keep it nice
Right.
and tight. No leaks. None of that shit. It happened with the Astros. The motherfuckers was stealing signs. In the
I
World
can't
Series.
believe that more stink hasn't been made about that.
No, people don't care about cheating.
The World Series
they
was
won the World Series.
but fuck whether your team won or lost.
Yeah.
It's about betting on the game. Like
Yeah.
people lost millions of dollars betting on that game.
Millions.
How are you not asking for your money back?
I'm surprised.
How are
they
you not
haven't.
suing? Like if I was someone who lost the money,
Mm-hmm.
I would sue the Astros.
Absolutely.
Not the betting agency. I would sue the Astros. I lost millions of dollars. You guys made me lose the money because
Mm-hmm.
I bet on this game, assuming that you guys would be operating through fair and true practices.
Running a clean game. Yeah.
Clean game. It's not clean. What do they do in boxing when somebody's on steroids?
Oh, it's
No
distributed
decision.
titles, no decision.
Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Same with MMA. Same with maybe other sports as well. Same with the Olympics. Oh, you won a gold medal? Oh, you were on EPO? You don't have a gold medal.
Mm-hmm.
But with baseball, something is off here, dude.
Something's off.
Something don't
It's
give.
bigger than us. It's gotta be fucking. We gotta fucking blow the.
You should
gate open
honestly.
on this shit.
I could stop this right now. I could stop the entire thing right now. You make it legal to sue the cheating team. You don't take away the rings or anything like that. But they won't cheat knowing that they're going to have billions of dollars of lawsuits towards them. So they're like, oh, it's not worth it. Because if we do get caught, then the organization goes, Belichick, stop fucking with that cheating shit. Stop
You don't
fucking around with
think-
that cheating shit.
I mean, these teams are worth billions of dollars, though. You think
Fam.
the Yankees can't afford a little? They probably shaking off lawsuits like Marv Albert, dog. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, they're like a couple $100,000 lawsuits here, a couple $1 million. That's nothing to them. They spent like $300 million on a pitcher.
And then
You
also
seen
you gotta-
Harvey, seen Harvey Weinstein, bro?
son.
Son, Harvey Weinstein came
This-
out and said women should be grateful for
Yo,
me.
you called this a couple
Son,
weeks ago, didn't
This
you?
guy.
Did I say that? What'd he say? He said women should be grateful for what I've done for them. They've forgotten what I did for them.
You said this a few weeks ago.
He not
bro.
wrong.
Like, yo, let me tell you
Harvey
something.
Weinstein.
I'm
I
not
deserve
saying.
a pat on the back.
All I'm saying
This
is,
guy is.
let me-
when I saw that shit, I was
that's
like,
ballsy.
But look at this.
Why
this
would
is
you say that?
son. This is all media. This is dude. The media is so corrupt, bro. Look at this. Ready? Look how the shot. Look how this picture is taken. What do you see in this picture vividly?
Was that a walker?
A walker and
Oh, in the IV.
all this IV and shit in his hand. This picture is made to be sympathetic for him.
Wow.
All this shit is, bro.
oh, you think so?
I can see that.
100%. So
But
he's
this
His
is where
eyes all fucked
I
up.
actually thought it was kind of they were setting him up
no
because it's like he's at rehabilitation right now.
Yeah,
Right.
Apparently he
So they
can't
might have
walk and
given him
shit.
like some meds. He could be on his like fuck. Who was that guy who was
You know what
bugging,
happened?
just
He probably
talking
met
shit?
one of them girls
This
at
is-
some Lower East Side comedy clubs and caused some shit.
Joe, real talk. But this is what allegedly happened. Apparently, he decides to get this back surgery, this, that, the other. His back's fucked up, right? Every old person's back is fucked up. But look at all these pictures. Him with the walker. He's dressed normal with his normal sneakers. He's not
Also,
dressed
this is
like a billionaire.
profile.
Bro, they're doing it so that you sympathize with him. 100%. Go back to the other shot. It's a regular hospital bed. It's not some fancy billionaire thing. It's regular. Everything is normal here. Now, even his shirt, it's got fucking cornflakes all over it or something. I don't know what it is.
What was that, Cheetos dust?
Some shit. But they're trying to make you feel bad for him. Apparently, there's video of him walking around without the walker.
Really? But for why? Why would?
Because that's what they do when you're in a criminal trial. Because they want the jury to
Also,
feel
he
bad
bought
for you.
this shit.
Son, of course.
Of course he bought
no,
this shit.
like,
God
yeah,
damn.
he's-
So
Now look at this poor old
they were
man.
Told
intimidated
them
by
what
the
time
witnesses.
to come and all that type of stuff.
Of course, and dude, they were like trying to intimidate the witnesses. Like he's giving $25 million to these girls, so they shut up, and they're gonna shut up, which is hysterical because you just prove him right. What did he say the whole time? They just want my money, and then he gives them money, and they just like, yeah, you're right,
Yeah, and he doesn't have to admit any wrongdoing either.
bro.
Just
You
like-
shouldn't be allowed.
That's where I think the justice system's always fucked up. This is exactly why. If you got bread, you will get ahead. Like you ain't
Yeah.
fucking. You ain't. If you got Weinstein money, you don't get by.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's the reason why. And 50 said this shit on Instagram the other day about Oprah going after Russell Simmons and R. Kelly and Bill Cosby and all this type of stuff. Like yo, love Bill, love R. Kelly. They ain't got Weinstein money.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, like Oprah ain't climbing up that tree. That tree will fall on you.
Yeah, why is Oprah getting all this smoke?
I mean, well, I guess he.
And also,
she-
there's a lot of we got to cover a couple things before we finish up here, but we got to wrap up soon. But I want to know why Oprah is getting this smoke, and then I also want to know why Eminem and Nick Cannon are fighting.
Yeah.
Here's my thing.
Oprah's getting the smoke because she's going after black people.
Yeah.
It seems as though she's going after black people.
Out of all
for
these,
what?
my thing is,
Whenever she backs a documentary or something like that, it just happens to be
it's always
a black
attacking
entertainer.
other black entertainers, which is
And
a
it's
little, it smells a little weird. My thing is, if I'm Oprah, you gotta at least throw somebody else in there just to mix it up.
Yeah.
You ain't just gonna go all black. Like,
Why?
Well, speaking of trees not falling on me, I don't know, so I'm not gonna say nothing crazy about Oprah. But there's something really uncomfortable because it's like these are people that she's worked with, and Russell Simmons. If you can find Russell Simmons, post that he did responding to Oprah coming out with his documentary or whatever, he says a bunch of things, just kind of like questioning like why she's coming after him. Granted, like, I guess he's speaking his piece, and I don't want to mess up any details, so I'm not gonna like act like I know exactly what he said. But he's basically pointing out like, hey, listen, like all these things happened about 30 years ago. I've taken dozens of lie detector tests. I've been proven innocent to this, that. You're only talking out of all these people who have gone on the record and say whatever. You're talking to people in specific, and okay, if I could. It's long as fuck, but maybe we
don't have to read the whole thing.
Yeah. But,
Okay, so here's my question.
Yeah.
Is it possible, I'm just throwing it out here, but like Oprah goes, well, this is closer to me and my community.
Yes.
That's why it's important. Whereas maybe the average person doesn't give a fuck about Harvey Weinstein or know Harvey Weinstein. Whereas was Russell preying on women in her community? Was Harvey? I mean, Harvey's like banging these little white girls, right? Maybe that's not as important.
Russell wasn't necessarily banging all these black girls either.
Right.
You know what I mean?
She was
like,
banging I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I'm like, why
No,
is that
absolutely.
story more interesting?
Here's the thing. I absolutely understand where Oprah's coming from. There's definitely a train of thought to, hey, this is my community. These are the people I know. These are the people I've trusted with my platform in my past. So I don't want to be a hypocrite and be like, oh, I'm not going to go after these people just because they've done work with me in the past. I'm fair, yada, yada, yada. There's definitely a school of thought on that. On the other hand, kind of fishy. It's kind of fishy, man, especially after like the Michael.
Yo,
like I don't know. I don't understand what she got out of going after Michael Jackson, who's been dead for over 10
I feel
years.
that's the only misstep, really.
You know what
Just
I mean? Like
the fact that they put the Michael thing out without having all the concrete.
But didn't she go after? Oh, she went after R. Kelly too.
Yeah. So
which
it's
is like fuck R. Kelly.
R. Kelly, I support it.
Yeah.
And even this Russ shit, like I don't think she's going after Russ. She's just pointing out a big thing because the Me Too movement. It pointed out all the shit going on in Hollywood, but it didn't talk about what was happening in music, and it was probably even bigger in music.
Way
so
crazier.
she's just doing the story that hasn't been told yet, which I respect her for it. I think the only reason why people are trying to pay, like giving her some smoke right now is because, like, all right, the 3 things that you have produced have been targeted at African Americans.
And if you're talking about that, especially with like, the conspiracy theorists that are out there, like anytime you're trying to take down a black person of notoriety, it's always going to be looked at a different lens. Like, why are you trying to take down some of the few, there are some of the few prominent black men that are out there. Like, there's always people thinking there's a war against black men or just masculinity in general, where they're trying to,
It's just tricky, man, because
it's all tricky.
Sometimes you're doing the right thing, and people are like, "Yeah, you're doing the right thing, but why don't you also do the right thing towards white people?" It's like, well, maybe I'll get there.
True. I'll get there
Like,
eventually.
if you're a scumbag, you're a scumbag. I don't know the whole situation with Russ. I don't know.
He was accused of. I mean, here's the thing.
I know Russ got a lot of pussy.
He has a good quote on here. Scroll down a little bit. He has a good quote about like exactly what.
Because I don't even think it's just about Russ. I think it's just
scroll
Me
up right
Too and
there.
hip hop.
I have been taking. Scroll back now. My fault. Today, I received a call from an old girlfriend from my early 1980s, which means that they're using my words, evidence against me, and their commitment. All the claims are 25 to 50 years old. Possible proof. He says something along the lines, I'm guilty of I'm guilty of exploiting, supporting, and making the soundtrack for a grossly unequal society, but I have never been violent or forced myself on anyone. Still, I am here to help support a necessary shift in power and consciousness. Let us get to work on uplifting humanity and put this moment in the old narrative behind us. Damn, the wifey show? Oh, I hear that. Stick by your man.
Shout out to that.
Shout out Kamaru Lee, bro. Even, whew. That's telling. That's telling, man.
She was the
Like,
first Asian I thought that was attractive.
Really?
Yeah.
bro. Kamora Lee definitely put me on the Blasians.
Yeah,
She was
yeah.
the first joint. She was defense. She's still fire. Out of all these days, still fire.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, I don't know. I mean, I hate even talking about these type of things because they're always messy, and you know, you never want to dismiss
Just talk
anybody's
about 'em, who cares?
fucking. You know, you don't want to dismiss anybody's trauma or plight or whatever because there are definitely people who've been, you know, grossly fucking, you know, affected by these things. At the same time, if we're gonna look at one thing with a certain lens, you should look at the other as well. As far as Nick and Eminem goes, I think Eminem's gonna be on Wild Out.
Eminem?
I think Eminem's gonna be on Wild Out.
Why?
I think that's what it is. I'm like, well, I just don't understand why you reheated that like decade-old beef. For what? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think I feel like that's the only play. That is the ultimate mashup collaboration of like battle rap
That's
comedy.
what I thought it was. I thought it was just PR, dude. That's
I'm like, y'all really still beefing over Mariah?
He put Eminem on his bio on Instagram.
The invitation.
Oh,
my
I
gosh.
honestly feel Nick and Eminem had a conversation. It's like, hey, this is how we play it.
Bro, I'm telling you.
I think it goes that far back. So Eminem puts this because
But
it's like to take shots at Nick and Mariah this many years removed from the situation. It's like, come on. But then I'm hearing that Nick was doing some interview where he brought him up, and I think it even started back then. He's like, yo, I'm gonna say something about you in this interview. You send a diss track, we have this rap beef, and then we settle it on Wildin' Out. It works for both parties.
It works for both parties. My pro wrestling mind doesn't believe shit anymore. I think
And we were just talking
Eminem
about-
is kind of dry right now.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
No, he's
real
not
shit,
even
they really
kinda.
hitting.
He is.
He is absolutely dry right now. And if I'm Eminem, I go on Wildin' Out. I go to his show. I'm like, bro, there's no amount of money you could pay him. Like, even if you really don't like the nigga.
But what's this like new thing that Nick is running with? Like,
What do you
he's
mean?
all of a sudden like super woke, super pro black, and everything is racist, and this is brand new with Nick. We
Is
never
it?
saw any of this with Nick before.
No, I think when he started his podcast, he started
Yeah.
talking about stuff because
So
he
that's
never
new?
really.
His podcast a year old.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, but
he's
that's
on
what I'm saying. He never really had a platform where he
I
could
think he
speak
does
his
the morning
mind.
show on Power 106 too, right?
Now he does a morning show, yeah.
Mm.
But even this, like, since Massa incapacitated, what is it? He says at 50 Cent. Nick Cannon is going to 50 Cent, which is brave. Since Massa is incapacitated, we cordially invite you to come to the show. Massa meaning Eminem. So he's bringing up like slave antics with Eminem and 50 Cent. Now, 50 Cent became a multi-millionaire because of Eminem's cosign. I don't think that that's akin to slavery. 100%. If you don't think that Eminem put 50 on, bro.
Eminem put him the fuck on. I guarantee
Come on,
that.
bro.
But like,
That's not saying that he wouldn't have maybe had success, but it's not like we didn't know who 50 was.
No.
Like we knew how to rob. We had that song. He
yeah,
wasn't
50
popping.
50 was the hottest free agent in music at one point. Like he would have popped off anywhere. And on top of that, since then he's blown up on shit that had nothing to do with
And
music.
50 always has M's back. So it's just interesting
sure.
that like you go with the slave narrative. It's like anytime you support a white guy, it's like he got to be your master. Like it's just kind of. One is disrespectful to like slavery, right? Because it's like you really thinking that like how detached are you from slavery that you're going to compare one multimillionaire empowering another multimillionaire and go, yeah, that's just like slavery. It's like if somebody made you tens of millions of dollars, wouldn't you have their fucking back
Yeah,
too? You
like-
idiot.
Yeah.
Andrews hasn't made me $10 million, but I'm very supportive of this
Yo,
motherfucker.
but once-
I've got his
once
back
I
on
do-
everything. But once you do, motherfucker, I'll be the first one to jump on Instagram. Like,
Yeah.
I'll
No,
put
but
this records out
I
every week.
totally agree with what you're saying, and it's almost like when every politician like compares shit to the Holocaust or
It's like,
whatever.
come on, B, it ain't the Holocaust.
you
Because
guys-
everybody's a Nazi,
you know what
yo.
it is? It's not about who they're saying it to. It's about convincing the masses. It's an easy thing to
It's
get
the
people
easy thing to do.
to flip on. It's like, oh,
But that's what I'm saying. He's playing.
Holocaust.
He's playing off of the insecurity that people have, right? It's like it's kind of disgusting when I see people do this.
Yeah.
It's kind of disgusting, bro. It's like you playing off the insecurity that people have, and you're playing off the real fears that black people
paranoia
have
of black
and
people.
paranoia.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
dude, people always prey on black paranoia, man. Like, look at all these pictures. You're playing off of, you acting woke, you wearing that stupid shit on your head, and you're acting like you really care, but you're just preying off the insecurity of people. It's like you found a new hustle. Like you found a new shit to pimp. Oh, I could pimp them like this? Okay, boom, I'm going to get their money. I'm going to get their support if I get behind this narrative and place this bad guy as the person that's always also been holding them down. This shit is, man, it's corny. When I see this, it's like, how do people not?
And quiet as kept, I think he's just trying to get his guys on. Like, he's got, like, if you look at the Wild
real
Now
talk,
clap,
you want to talk about,
like Charlie Clips.
you want to talk about people not getting
Conceited.
paid enough? Ask them Wild and Out guys how much they get paid, Nick. You really want to talk about the plantation? Ask them Wild and Out guys how much they get paid on your show, Nick.
God damn. I'm not.
Because not a single one of them very happy with that paycheck. Ask them when they tried to go on tour and you shut down their tour.
What, 85 South?
Oh, I'm not gonna put all the business out there, but you
No.
couldn't go on tour.
You trying to hit on 85 South?
Yo, you couldn't go on tour unless it was with the Nick Cannon, because they all went on tour. Everybody who was on the MTV Wild and Out shit went on tour, and you couldn't call the show the Wild and Out show or whatever it was unless Nick Cannon did, and then Nick Cannon embodied the live show, and now you had to do it under him, and then you make way less under him. Now, granted, he created the platform. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, let comedians eat, bro.
Yeah.
Like, there's a certain point in time where it's just like, yo, let them hit the road, do their thing. Now, they just do it under the 85 South Show live, of course. But there was a time where it was like, oh, you're not going to let them tour? Like, now, what? Granted, they did their thing, but you really want to bring out that slavery shit?
No shit.
You really want to do that and act like you're the one empowering your people? So why are you squashing your people every time they're trying to make money? Why are you trying to take a little out their pocket every single time?
When it comes to that, you probably more experienced than I am because I don't know the inner
corny,
workings
bro.
of that shit. But like, to play devil's advocate, a lot of these motherfuckers I wouldn't hear if it wasn't for Wild Out. A lot of them.
Son,
You know
it
what
was
I
an
mean?
amazing platform.
Amazing platform.
Yeah, so maybe he was trying to just protect the brand. It's like he doesn't want, if he's not as connected to it, he doesn't want people using the name
with
to
it.
try to get tickets. or
I'm
whatever.
not even against it. I'm with it, and I understand as a businessman, it's a shrewd thing to do. That being said, if you're gonna be shrewd and potentially cheap with your people, you can't exactly criticize. You can't exactly call another dude a slave master and another guy a slave who he made millions of dollars.
Yeah, it's that.
It's just like it's like we know what Eminem did for 50. We know what you did with the guys under your show. It's like,
That's why I feel like this whole shit is just complete bullshit. That's why he's like using
Eminem's
these
gonna
as
be on Wild
jokes.
Now.
Yeah.
I think Eminem's gonna be on Wild Now.
No, I think he's trying
I think
to
it's gonna
get
be a
Em on
big.
Wild Now.
They're gonna have a live fucking show.
Because that would be a
If
huge
I'm
show for him.
Eminem, I want to do Wild Now.
oh my god, because you
I
don't want that.
to do Wild Now.
Nick
Are
don't
you
want that
kidding me?
smoke live.
Are you kidding me? If I'm Eminem, I'm like, yo, you know what? Invite me to the fucking show. I'll come do your fucking show. I'll slap the shit out of you lyrically, verbally, whatever. And whatever the fuck you may think about Nick, this will be your bit. I'll watch.
Yep,
Mad
we all
people
gonna
will
tune
watch.
in. It's wrestling,
You're
baby.
gonna watch.
Yeah,
It's
I would.
all pro
Everything's
wrestling.
wrestling.
It's all pro wrestling. You see Eminem doing. He's gonna do live battle raps on MTV. What?
Eminem kind
Count
of
me
need
the
that
fuck
too,
in.
man.
Yo, Eminem needs it because
Count
Eminem
me
is
the
cold
fuck
right
in.
now.
He's cold as
It's
fucking.
cold as ice.
Cold as
Ever since he
fucking
went
cold
serious,
fucking
like once
turkey.
we lost like playful Eminem,
When he
It's the
went
drugs.
the I hate
Yeah.
It's
Trump.
the drugs. Once he got clean, it was a wrap.
son, get back on drugs.
Yo, just be goofy, be silly. Like when he got all political.
get back on drugs.
It's like,
son.
come on, bro.
Even when he did, I think he did the BET freestyle when he was like
Son.
talking about Trump, and
It's
you could
too
tell
much.
he was tight that Trump didn't react.
Oh, he was super
He was
tight.
tight that Trump didn't react because that was his go to all the
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Pop stars, politicians, and whatever whack rappers or whatever.
Yeah.
You get that interaction, you get that beef. That was his shit.
But Trump's too smart for that. And
And
you
he
know what
thought-
Trump would have reacted to? Mm-hmm. What happened?
No, because I was telling him to get back on drugs, and then like rappers had recently passed
Oh, yeah,
away right
Jesus
now, so
Christ. Yeah,
don't
yeah, yeah, don't do that.
don't actually do that.
Yo,
Eminem. Just be funny again.
You know it's going to be interesting though, because all these rappers out here saying we don't do drugs no more, we just smoke weed. That's going to be like when you change your Facebook profile picture to the person who just died, right? Or you're like,
See how long that
shout
was.
out to Sudan, or like, shout out to Paris or whatever it is. Like
The
we're
wild
with
shit
you.
is, I think Trippie
But
Redd
real
said
talk-
that before.
Real talk. What's going to happen is you're going to see exactly how long it takes them to flip back to doing drugs. Just like when they removed that Facebook profile picture. Because there's no way these rappers ain't going to do drugs.
My thing is, like, how serious are you really? Are you going to stop doing drugs? Are you going to stop performing songs that we talk about glorifying taking pills and drinking lean?
No, you're not.
All sort of shit? No. Are you going to, like, come on, son. Come on, son. Like,
It's
the
the
Juice WRLD shit, and the Juice WRLD shit is fucking frustrating as too, because it wasn't like he was some junkie. He was literally trying to swallow pills because FBI was about to search his plane.
My buddy got an interesting argument that he goes, and I won't say his name just because I don't know if he wants this argument out there, but he's not white, he's not black, so he's the neutral party in this.
Okay.
But he says, not all. Not all hip hop, but you see a lot of these people in hip hop that we look up to, and they are the greatest marketers of white supremacy. I go, what are you talking about? He goes, like the people that are talking about the things that destroy your community. It's like, what do white supremacists want?
To destroy your community.
Right? So if you're going to talk about drugs and guns and all this other shit and all the fucked up thing you can do, and you're going to promote that as much as you possibly can with your community, it's like you doing their job for them.
Yeah, no, that's our biggest. I mean, I'm as a black person, I could say that's definitely our biggest Achilles heel. Like, we are our own worst enemy all the fucking time. All the fucking time. Like, we're very hypocritical when it comes to, you know, we want, like, here was the one thing we heard all last year, right? Remember when, like, there was a bunch of female rappers out there that were, like, strippers and shit, whatever?
Yeah.
Everybody was like, oh my God, why don't people listen to Rhapsody? Rhapsody talks about positivity and da-da-da-da-da-da. Rhapsody drops the album, nobody fucking bought it. Nobody fucking bought that shit. We wanted to hear that. Like, we want everything a lot of things we do, I'm not going to say everything. Right. A lot of things we do as a community sound good in theory, but we never really practice it.
Yeah, but you know what's ironic about what you said, Andrew, is that hip-hop is so big now, like, even I think more white people consume it than black people.
More white people consume
Way
it.
more.
And that's
you
part
see
of,
a
and I
Rolling
think that's
Loud
part of
crowd?
the reason why there's a huge opioid epidemic right now.
Right.
Because
The
they
opioid epidemic
promote
ain't
that
happening
shit.
in the hood.
They
No,
promote
the opioid epidemic is definitely happening in white people situations.
and they
But-
promote that shit on hip-hop.
Sure, and maybe that's a part of it, but I also think there is something I'd be curious to see if in the opioid epidemic, if you saw like country musicians or like hard rock musicians singing songs like I sling my opioids to all my poor whites, and you know what I mean, because that's how I get bread. Like, I wonder if white people be
That's
like,
not as catchy.
yo, no, but like I sincerely wonder if like these like white New England people would be like, are y'all really listening to that?
terrible,
Like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Like, people are dying over this shit. What are you bopping your head to?
Oh God.
I'm curious. I'm just curious.
I don't know.
And I think
I
the
don't know.
eldermen
It's
in
not
hip-hop
elder.
went against it.
I think they see it. I think they understand it.
You
And
know,
they
it's
go,
just
oh,
it's
whoa,
hard
whoa,
to
whoa.
convince
It's the
kids.
It's the kids.
Yeah.
Because kids are going to be drawn to childish shit regardless,
Yeah.
right? And every group has had their things. Don't get me wrong. Like the psychedelic groups are there. Like the what is it? The
Crack in the 80s.
No, I meant like those like hippie rock
Hippies,
bands who
yeah.
like mushrooms
okay,
and these
okay,
types of
okay,
things.
yeah,
And then when
yeah.
the rock and roll bands came out and they're all about drinking and fucking sing about heroin and that kind of shit. And then motherfuckers were dying of heroin.
Yeah.
It was a real thing where, and then what you did is as they got older, you saw a lot of these groups and the ones that are still around, they sobered up. Like they'll be like, all right, if we're going to do this, everybody has to be sober. You know, so maybe that is the transition that happens in any music. But I always
It'll
thought,
happen. I think it'll happen eventually. I don't think it's. I mean, it's got to start guys like Trippie Redd, like saying like, "Hey, we're not doing any of this." You can't say, "Oh, we're just doing weed." Like, just like, don't do anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
even if you're gonna smoke a little weed, like, just put the message out there. Just like, "Hey, we going sober now. Like, we're not doing this shit." Like, you lost Juice WRLD, you lost fucking Mac Miller, you lost what was the other guy that passed away overdose? He said Yams.
Little Xan or something.
Fucking
shit, you
Lil
almost
Xan.
lost
We
Wayne.
almost lost Wayne and Rick Ross.
Fucking
Almost lost them
man.
both off of lean seizures.
That's
You know
the
what I
other
mean?
thing is like once you get into these pharmaceuticals, bro, it's like everybody thinks it's safer because it comes in that little bottle.
Yeah.
It ain't safer, dude.
That's why I don't
It's the
trust
same
government
fuck
weed.
shit.
I don't trust government weed at all. That's why.
No, I fuck with government weed, bro.
I mean, I don't trust it.
I
I'm
kinda
scared
like
of it,
that
dog.
shit.
I'm scared of it because once it becomes, it's like McDonald's. Like McDonald's started out good in theory.
Yo,
Like when there was like 5 McDonald's. it's
Duval
like, oh,
changed
yeah,
my
we
whole
can make-
Duval changed my whole mind about McDonald's when he was on Rogan. Bro, Duval goes, he's talking about, he goes, yo, when you're traveling, just eat McDonald's. That's your friend. And then Rogan goes, yeah, man, but have you seen those videos where like they put a McDonald's hamburger on like a shelf and they just leave it there for a year and then they come back and it looks the exact same? And he goes, and Duval goes, ain't that good? he goes, that's what space food is. It just lasts forever.
True.
So McDonald's is space food. He goes, if it's good enough for astronauts, it's good enough for me. And then he goes, if you eat too much of anything, it's bad for you. I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
But eat in moderation. Bro, he said that shit. And I was like, man, Duval might be on to something,
He's a
dude.
brilliant dude, man. Brilliant dude. Fucking Shadow Ochocinco.
What he said? Oh, loves McDonald's.
Lives off that shit. Motherfucker still has 6-pack abs. Can still run a 4.340 if he needs to.
But imagine he ate like real whole food healthy.
But why?
Yeah, you're right. Hey, man, theandrewschulz.com for more dates. We added a bunch of dates. Stand up, obviously, I'm coming out there to New Orleans. I'll be in Philly this weekend. I think it's almost sold out. We did add a second show on the Sunday night as well to Helium Comedy Club. But check it out. We added Minnesota, Fillmore. We added New Orleans, Joy Theater. We added Milwaukee. So if you're ever in that region, Chicago, we're not coming back on this tour, but if you want to drive up to Milwaukee, the Paps Theater, we're playing out there. We got Hawaii, we got Virginia, we got Miami, we got Orlando. We got all these cities and more, theandrewschulz.com. Make sure you go check that out, and we will be out there. And Kaz, you got anything, dog?
Just check out Big Apple Buckets today after you listen to Flagrant 2. I got Jalen Rose on the show.
Yeah.
I got Matthias Kiwanuka on the show. We got Adam Sandler and Kevin Garnett on the show. It's a deep episode. It's only 45 minutes. It's quick. It's easy for your commute. Check me out SOY The Thread. I'm doing some shit. I'll be doing play-by-play for the Kyrie Irving Classic on December 23rd with Slam Online on May December 23rd. Broadcasting 3 games. It's gonna be great. Is that it?
Yo, last chance. Go check out the special, or go get tickets for the special if you want to be there, man. It's going to be wild. And you can get that on my website, theandrewschulz.com. There's a link up there. Remember, pre-sale code is Matador. Okay, you got a few days to get them before everybody else does. I appreciate y'all. If y'all can make it, that's amazing. If you can't make it, then you'll see it. But you've all played a huge role in this being possible. So I want to give you guys the opportunity to be there. It means a lot to me. All right?
Bro, congratulations again,
Thank
man.
you, son.
Nobody
Thank
fucking
y'all so
tells
much.
you, bro.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. And I'm excited to share the new studio with y'all, man.
Yes,
I
sir.
can't wait. Go check out Ben Uyeda, Mike Montgomery's YouTube pages. You can see all the different work that they do. You can see some videos on Instagram that they do of certain things for the new studio. And go check out Overtone Sounds. They got amazing soundproofing. If you have a studio, if you're podcasting, you've got to make sure your sound is crisp. So make sure you do that. And I'm going to tell you the audio-visual visual company that we use and give all their information. We're trying to build industry over here, man. So we just need to make sure that we share all these things with you. Also, fashion. That was crazy. I haven't spoken to y'all about that, but the fashion is sold out. We thought we were
Yo, that shit was on eBay?
Son, they started reposting it, bro. It was crazy. Motherfuckers were reposting the fashion.
Reselling.
Or is it reselling?
Yeah.
Reselling the fashion on eBay. And the craziest thing is, they didn't even get it yet. How you gonna resell something you ain't got yet? You know what I mean?
That's how they do it.
Yeah,
That's
that's how they do
On
it.
stock
Resale
yeah.
market, man.
Bro,
Shit's
it was
big.
just so crazy. So it's really awesome to see. It's really awesome for this to happen. And those all your shirts and all your hoodies and everything like that are going out. Those will never be made again. That is that fashion drop, and every fashion drop is going to be isolated in and of itself. We got some new shit cooking up for the next one. I'm very excited.
Bro,
I'm
I
very
legitimately
excited
tried to fucking buy some shit. Once I saw it moving, I'm like, all right, let me grab some before it's out.
Yeah.
Shit fucking sold out, so if you could please save me
Yo,
an XL.
I got you, son. I got you, son. All right, man. And also,
if there are any shooters on any of the tour dates,
oh yes,
yes, hit me up. I respond. I try to respond to most of my DMs. Hit me up. We always appreciate any help.
Oh yeah. So if any shooters or any photographers too, even if you don't do video, we like having good pictures of the shows as well. So just let us know. And honestly, it's a great way to get into the show if you don't have a ticket.
True.
You know what I mean? If these shows sell
Don't
out.
tell them that.
I'm just saying, if they sell
fire,
out,
bro.
you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. All right, man. Thank y'all so much, man. We appreciate y'all. This is Flagrant 2. Peace.